Hello, everybody. Today is Saturday, the 13th, unlucky for some, November 2021, and I hope you are all very well. I'm Mr. Brown, and welcome to the channel. A busy week again in entertainment land, mainly. Disney Plus trailers were dropping faster than the box office takings for the internals. And 1 week to go. Yes, this is the big one, boys and girls. 1 week to go before Ghostbusters Afterlife is released. And as we know, some of the papers are hating it. Some of the woke papers are hating it. So it could, fingers crossed, be good. Fingers crossed on that one. I think, shall we just get the guests? I think we should just get the guests out. Let's just get on with it. We're a little bit late. I do apologize for being a little bit late. Show business things and letting the cat out. Yes, let's get the guests out. First up, she's the Princess of Xanadu, but she's the queen of this channel, all the way from the land of Texas Land Shire. Technology permitting, here she is, Renier.
Hey, Mr. Brown.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
A bit wrecked, but I'm okay.
We all are.
I do have to ask, is the LT, are you light brown? Is that what that is? Or is that Lieutenant Brown?
Lieutenant, or for our British viewers,
Okay.
Lieutenant.
That's right. I think I've heard that said elsewhere before. I'm trying to remember where.
Why is your avatar looking like a nipple on a big breast?
What? I can see myself. I don't see that.
No, you look like a tit from where I'm stood.
No, that's just my face. Sorry, it disappoints you, but I went from having the black and white pick, and I found the color pick because I couldn't find the color one. But I just thought it looked really cool in black and white, and somebody said something to me about that. I was like, fine. It
looks really cool, but it's a shame we can't see it.
Really?
Oh, yes.
That's a shame. I'm sorry.
I wonder if I'll be able to alter it here.
Oh, dear.
Banned from studio. No. I'll ignore all those. So you're good, yes?
Yeah, I'm as good as I can be. Sorry, I tried to watch the movie. I just couldn't. And
don't you worry about it.
Yeah.
We are all here for this week's therapy session.
Woot.
And that includes the boys and girls in the chat. So hello, boys and girls in the chat. So shall we get the next guest out?
Do it.
Next, so good, we named him twice, all the way from New York. It is Peacat.
Hello, hello.
Hello, sir.
Hey, Peacat.
So this is a different start. So Rennie self-destructs before we even start the chat. Right off the bat, she dropped off. So
yep.
She went critical mass before we started.
Yes.
Then she comes on, and Mr. Brown is comparing her non-avatar to a nipple.
Can you see me or no? Should I dip out and come back?
It's back to normal now. Your beautiful self.
Now you're in full color.
Yes. Well, because I was like, I don't remember taking a picture of my boobs recently, and so then I got all paranoid and wondered what everybody could really see. So like,
so you had a little nip slip as you came on.
Yeah. Okay. Did I put the wrong picture up? No, just kidding. Kidding.
We'll do anything to get the ratings going. So you're well, Peacat.
They'll be like, you got to check out that Mr. Brown channel. It's adult-only content.
Oh, yes.
This is
18.
The Brown After Dark session.
That's later. So you know what the next question is, don't you?
Bring out the next guest.
Indeed.
Bring out
so here we
dead.
go.
Sorry.
I should think so. Get your lightsabers at the ready. The vice presidents of the channel. and a true Star Wars fan in every sense of the word, whatever that means, all the way from Las Vegas, we have the backbone. I repeat, the backbone of this channel. It's not Brian Young.
Oh, hey guys, how's it going? G'day, Rennie. G'day,
Hello,
Pete. G'day, Brown.
Hello, Steele.
Hiya.
You all right? Steele Saunders is in, everybody.
I'm beautiful, mate. How are you?
So you're the backbone or the broke back of tonight's show?
I'm a fucking invertebrate, mate.
You sound purty, Brian.
Oh, thank you very much. Too kind, Rennie. Too kind. Welcome to the compliments stream, Money, Mr. Life.
I will just say then, that Nigel movie guy looking fantastic in the chat. MC looking beautiful as always. Wookie Fever, blah, 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 looking amazing. Who's this? Not Brian Young, looking stunning. Demon looking sublime. Mayor McCheese looking like a big lump of cheese. Mr. Brown Alliance. Oh, that's me. Moving on. So you're well. You're well,
Yes,
Brian.
should we get the next guest out?
I think we should.
Tell me.
Yes.
Let's go on. Let's crack on.
Before he nods off. Last but not least, the wise elder of the channel, the writer, the portal, director, blah, blah, blah. Paid up member of the Selfridges Appreciation Society. He loves the seats. He's the great mega geek himself. Ian David Diaz.
I can't quit you. Yeah, it's me.
I love that.
Hello,
I
Ian.
love you say that.
I'm
I
all
can't
right.
quit you.
I can't quit. Yeah.
How's,
It's worth watching that film just for that line. It really is. It really is.
how's,
Find someone who can Photoshop you saying it to Brown, though.
Oh, God, no.
I can't quit you. How's everything in Mega Geek Land?
It's all right. It's all right. I had a nice day today. It was good. And yeah, no. I'm looking forward to next year, to tell you the truth, after Christmas. So, yes, I'm happy. So there you go.
If I may, without, I will just say, watch this space, everybody. Yes.
Oh God, yeah, definitely. I'm just got my
Excited.
fingers crossed. Yeah, I'm excited. I just hope I've got enough money to shoot the damn thing. So yeah,
You'll have to put a few extra hours of overtime in, mate.
yeah, it's a bummer. I don't really like working for other people. I only like working for myself. But you know, there you go. Oh, hello, She-Hulk. Is that going to be as woke as anything? Is it?
Probably. She'll probably be very masculine instead
But
of
what-
like the She-Hulk in the comics, the original.
Agatha?
Yeah.
Why? Why?
You know, it's
Stupid.
just what they do lately, man.
I'll just quickly go back to the little bit I said at the beginning. Disney, I think it was their Disney minus plus D-Day, whatever day it was yesterday, and trailers were just dropping like no man's business. And of note, I thought I'd kind of just put these on. She-Hulk. I think
Can
I
we
saw
call her non-binary Hulk?
Yeah.
Because that's how it's
You-
going to be.
can call her anything you please.
Yay!
Ironheart, which is stunning and brave, isn't it? Who is better than Iron Man?
Oh, Ironheart is not his wife then. It's someone new. Because I've never read the comics.
It's that,
So it's not-
New. It's fairly new. I think it's less. It might be less than 5 years old.
Oh, okay.
I think she's an. Is she a MIA student who's about 15?
Yeah,
Who
she's
knows?
a kid.
She's amazing.
I think Riri Williams or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was Miss Marvel, who looked about 4 years old.
Yeah.
It's about right.
And then this Agatha, what a load of bollocks as well.
Instead of giving us Fantastic Four, they're giving us this crap.
Craptastic for.
Yeah. No, well, no, they're giving us like She-Hulk that nobody wants to see, Ironheart that nobody wants to see, Miss Marvel that nobody cares about, and Agatha, a villain from I give up.
Dumb.
I give up.
Like,
Yeah.
That's the sound of Ian banging his head on the table.
Yeah, exactly.
so what
It's just
Miss
twisted.
Marvel is this? Is this Jean Grey? Is
No,
this Captain Marvel? Which one?
It's Miss Marvel that is not very good looking and of an ethnic persuasion and can stretch her hands, or make her fists big, which is the stupidest power I've ever freaking seen in a comic. And she's not. What is she? Is she? What nationality is she? I can't remember. Just to put an icing on this shitty cake. What nationality is she? I can't remember.
Oh God, I don't know because
She's
wasn't
non-specific nationality, non-specific.
It's really stupid. And I said nobody's asking for these characters at all. I mean, She-Hulk maybe, Ironheart,
but
Miss
not
Marvel.
like the boxy looking She-Hulk. Like She-Hulk in the comics,
Yeah.
like the old school
She was
one.
gorgeous.
She
Yeah.
had, and she had tits and ass. Sorry to be crass, but I don't know how else to say this. But she looked like a woman, but she was still ripped, but she was feminine at the same time. She wasn't this boxy looking like. Is that a girl? Is that a guy? I don't know. It's got long hair, but it's kind of boxy looking. I don't know.
I will say on the plus side though, MC is quite correct. Hello, MC. The brief,
MC is the bomb.
He is da bomb. MC. The brief trailer for Moon Knight looked good. That had Poe.
No,
Dameron.
it didn't. No,
Oh,
it didn't.
No, it didn't.
It didn't look good. It was
Okay,
like
you're wrong,
okay.
MC.
I was like, all right.
You're wrong. MC, deal with it. You're wrong.
We love you, MC, but you're wrong on this one, babe.
You're wrong. Then again, yep, that's Nigel Movie Guy. Marvel films are not regarded as true cinema in the correct spirit and definition of the word. And then Nigel says again, Miss Marvel is from India.
All right, there you go.
Oh, dear.
MC, Moon Knight and Hawkeye looked okay.
Just okay.
Is
They looked-
Hawkeye now? Aren't they getting
nah.
rid of the original Hawkeye, the Clinton Barton one, and they're making way for a
Girl.
female? Yeah.
Yep.
God, what a surprise.
Yeah.
In defense
Big
of MC, I'd say out of them all, I had no real interest in any. The only one that kind of made me open up at least one eye at the time was Moon Knight. It's the only one that looked even remotely interesting to me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that purely because it's got what's his face in it, Isaac.
Yes, Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like you guys know the next Thor movie is going to be where Jane takes over as the role of Thor, and real Thor
Bitches.
is just going to go to the wayside or die.
Yeah,
you know?
bitches with biceps. Yes.
Yeah, so that's exciting because that's what we've all been waiting for, right? Is a female Thor instead of some sexy dude. I mean, I'm seriously. Makes no sense.
We are going through a phase of stunning and brave. MC in the chat, she's Muslim, which isn't a nationality.
There you go. You see, that's what I'm saying. This is like this crap
Oh,
we
no.
don't want, but yet they're giving it to us purely because they need to tick boxes for some reason. But you know, it's the world today, isn't it? I guess. What can I say?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's sad when I have to use the words that I'm a biological female at birth. You know what I mean? It's sad that I have to use those words to describe my gender to people sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Never thought I would have to do that.
Yeah, it's as I said, it's ridiculous now. It's getting ridiculous. Instead of giving Marvel fans what they want, Fantastic Four, you know, there's other characters they can bring that are kind of like, you know, Blade, Daredevil, you know.
Blade.
Well, they
Wesley
say they're
Snipes.
giving us
Why?
But the guy from Green Book is playing Blade, so
Yeah, but
they're
he's
going
not
to.
Wesley Snipes.
No, of course he's
Wouldn't need
not.
to. Wesley
it's-
Snipes is probably still fit enough to do it.
He is still fit enough to do
Yeah.
it, but they don't
Yeah.
want him. They don't want him.
No.
And plus, they're going to get Charlie Cox back, but it's going to be a different Daredevil. So it's just like, well,
right.
you know,
Yeah, it's
just-
not connected to the Netflix show. Which then to me, it's a waste of my time.
Where
Yeah.
you'd rather
MC
gouge your eyes out than to watch.
Yes.
MC in the chat on 15 minutes. I'll get me coat.
We
MC.
still love you as a friend. You're our buddy, but
MC,
no.
close the door on your way out, mate. Moon Knight, MC again. Moon Knight looked a bit Batman-ish,
That's because it is.
which has been classed as Marvel's Batman.
Yep, I've heard that.
You see, instead of giving us Nova, which is a really good character in the comics when he started off, they're giving us this rubbish, Agatha. Who cares about Agatha?
She's the one
Somebody
character we've
does.
all wanted to see on the screen, but just didn't know it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so dumb. So dumb.
You know what? The Marvel people could eat a bag of dicks as far as I'm concerned.
Two
You know what I'm
bags.
saying?
Seriously.
2 bags.
2 bags.
Double dose.
How about we all send them a bag of dicks and they'll get them coming from all around the world?
Yeah.
All right. So how many orifices will that entail?
All of them. All of them.
Yeah. Maybe some people get 2. You never know.
Yeah.
Did
I tell
anybody
ya.
see the Doomcock video about Feig getting called out a little by Bob Paycheck this week?
What did he say to him?
Obviously, it's a rumor, pinch of salt, grain of salt, blah, 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 blah. I think Paycheck has kind of realised with the stuff that's going on with the internals and the woke bomb and all this stuff that I think Paycheck has woken up finally.
Woken up.
Yes, I know.
Waka waka.
Waka waka. And things may be happening, but obviously all these shows would probably be so long into their production cycle.
It'll be too late.
Yeah.
You know?
And as Gary from Nerdrotic has been saying for months and months, and I think this just confirms it, MCU.
It is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It is.
But that's, I feel like it's been that way for the last couple of years. Endgame sealed the deal for me.
Yeah.
Infinity War wasn't bad. Endgame sucked.
Yeah.
Tony Stark, gone.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're going to kill off the one character that started off
People
your
wanna go
franchise
see.
with a bang. Smart.
Yeah. I didn't like how they played Thor in it either. I mean, which is leading into him being. I mean, he's going to be a secondary in his own movie, but even before
Ridiculed.
that, Fat
Yeah.
Thor. The joke was stale before the first crack came out.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't like Ragnarok, to be honest with you, the movie.
Yeah, I didn't care for it.
Yeah,
either.
me neither.
It,
Different tone to the
The
other
Hulk
one.
was
Yeah.
like a joke in it too, which I hated.
Well,
Oh,
they
the
made
professor.
they made
Stupid.
Thor a bit of an idiot in that one, didn't they? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So there you go.
I think Ragnarok, I think it was the director's fault because I think, what's his name?
Taika Waititi or whatever
Yeah.
his name is. Yeah.
Taika Waititi.
Yeah, I think
If he dies, he dies. Sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that he probably thinks he's very funny, and I would probably say that he is a funny guy.
Well,
But
have you
usually-
seen what we
usually
do in
what-
the shadows? That's funny.
Yeah, but I think with Ragnarok, they should have just toned it down just a couple of points, and I think it would have hit a sweet spot.
That is true, yeah.
It just.
I think if they had kept it less campy, didn't go for the humor and the bright colors, and kept it in the same tone as Dark World or the first one, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
I think Branagh got a perfect balance between the serious
Great
side,
film.
which he mainly
Great
kept
film.
for, obviously who directed the first Thor movie.
He did, yeah, you're
Great
right.
film. Great film.
Mhm.
The Hulk
But,
was played terribly in. I mean, he hasn't. I haven't enjoyed the Hulk in a movie since the first Avengers.
You know what?
liked Edward Norton. As
Yeah, so
Bruce
did I. I
Banner.
was about
I
to
thought
say
he was
that.
good too.
Yeah, I really liked. In fact, it was really funny because when that Incredible Hulk came out, I was more interested in Ed Norton's character than the actual Hulk himself because I really felt for him. You know, obviously trying to escape General Ross and being in love with Betty Ross and stuff like that. So I
Yes.
actually felt for that character. You know,
First appearance of Tony Stark.
Banner's pathos is what really makes the Hulk character work for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then I'm biased because of the 70s TV show.
No,
I
but
didn't-
sorry, go
Sorry,
ahead,
Ian.
Rennie.
I didn't like the professor approach that he did with Endgame. That was like the dumbest thing ever. If you guys have
Yeah,
ever
it
read
was.
the comics, the Hulk as the professor is not scary,
Nope.
not intimidating, and can't beat the bad guys.
Mm.
Just a smart ass. Like,
The thing is,
seriously.
though, we had very limited version of the Incredible, the Hulk that we knew. You know, Hulk smash and all that. If you look at the amount of screen time that Hulk had, it's very little compared to the rest of the characters. So I thought what they would have done is make that Hulk come out at the ending. You know, when they had the big
Yeah.
fight, that would have been so much better.
Because they were
You know,
alluding to it, right?
yeah. And instead of Miss Marvel taking on Thanos, it should have been the Hulk, because the Hulk got his ass kicked by Thanos. So it would have been really good if the Hulk, you know, took him down a peg. Do you know what I mean? In that fight as the Hulk. But they didn't do that.
Well, and the Hulk is a lot stronger in the comics than they make him in the movies or even the show.
Yeah.
I mean, the show you could only do so much, right? But he is really strong, and he is like almost godlike powerful. I mean, and you don't get to see that in the movie, and it's just a shame. The Hulk is amazing if you do him right.
Because in the comics, right, he fought this guy, and he beat him because when he gets angry, he gets stronger
and bigger.
I remember and bigger,
and
yeah.
bigger.
So yeah.
Yes. Amazing.
So anyway.
Sorry, I get really excited. The Hulk is really awesome in the comics.
He is.
Oh,
God,
good for you.
What killed
Shut
me
up,
real
Brown.
quick.
Lieutenant Brown. Ooh, I like that.
Lieutenant Dane. Lieutenant
That's right.
Brown. Yeah.
Lieutenant Brown.
Lieutenant Dane.
If I may, do you guys, do you think this phase of Marvel is just going to die a slow, lingering death, or are people going to bail quickly?
Stretch it out, man.
No, the normies will keep it up.
There's enough zombies that will carry it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a shame that's going to happen, but there you go.
Have you guys watched the three releases, isn't it? It's the Ten Rings, Internals, and Black Widow.
Is that on Disney?
Yeah, who's watched them all?
Nah, I've watched Eternals, but if I had the choice to watch it, I wouldn't have watched it. But I didn't have the choice. Somebody invited me, I had to go. Otherwise, it was death to Ian. So I had to go and see it. I have no intention of seeing the Ten Rings. That looks as dumb as a bag of dicks, basically. And
I love that.
The 10
and
dick.
the other, 10 dicks. 10 dicks.
the 10 dick rings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Cock rings, yes.
Yeah. I have no intention, absolutely. No intention of seeing Loki season 2. No intention of seeing anything from Marvel anymore. Just bollocks.
In the chat, hello, sir. Taiko Watiti?
I think it's
can't say it.
Watiti.
My teeth are not working. Real name is Taika David Cohen. Heard this on Midnight's Edge from Cameron Pasha. Russian Jewish mixed with Maori. He has hidden his Jewish ancestry and boosted his Maori heritage.
Well, we don't know that for a fact, do we?
But if it is, he's obviously playing the card, isn't he?
SJW card.
Yeah, card.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm probably playing it well, probably.
I actually thought he wasn't funny in what is it? Nice.
What we do in the shadows?
Free Guy.
No, Free Guy. I didn't think he was funny in Free Guy at all.
Awful in that. He needed most of his part clipped, I think.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this film, even though I don't think it's the right course to take with this film, but I'm looking forward to it.
And the film is, what's the film, Ian? It's
Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yeah.
I
can't quit the Ghostbusters. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it, actually.
I think it's out, is it next Thursday?
Yeah, it is. Over here. I'm definitely going to go and see it. Definitely.
Yeah, certain newspapers, the woke papers, are hating it, apparently. So
that's their problem.
Yeah. So it must be good. So are we all genuinely kind of looking forward to this then?
It's going to be packed. Cinemas are going to be packed, but I think it's going to do really well. I think
scared.
It's really going to do well. Why?
I just don't want to think it's going to be good and then get the SJW slap in the face again, man. It's like the worst thing.
The sucker punch.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the worst thing when you go in and you're like so excited and it's like, oh, weak.
Have they not learnt their lesson though from 2016?
I would
I
hope
don't
so.
know. I hope so. I hope they have. Do you know what? On Netflix, they have the Ghostbusters, and then you have Ghostbusters 2, and then they have the woman Ghostbusters, and it's like no, no. Who's going to watch that? Why buy that? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's just a name
no.
only.
Yeah,
Exactly.
crazy.
I'm
Looks good though.
cautiously optimistic on this.
Yeah, same here.
Exactly.
Same here.
Are we at a stage though where we will take anything that's, what's the analogy? A starving man will think a dry cracker is a feast.
I'm not there yet though with this stuff. As I said, 10 Rings, I would have been rushing to the cinema if that was the case, but I refused to see that film.
Yeah.
I was never going to go and see Eternals, but I had to. So you know what I mean. So
Forced.
yeah, I was forced. Yeah, my hands were twisted. I had to go, but I'm really want this film to be entertaining. I know it's not going to be as good as obviously the original Ghostbusters, but my fingers are crossed that it's entertaining in a good way.
It's just a shame that they waited until after Harold Ramis died to
Yeah.
actually
Yeah,
bring the originals back, and it makes me really sad.
yeah.
So I got a question for everybody, especially you, Ian, as a director. So now, what is your take on the rumors of the Harold Ramis character being brought back as a ghost and using his image and likeness?
Well, as long as they get permission off the family and they're happy with that, I would think it'd be a nice tribute to the man himself.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have a problem with that if they did that in the film.
Well, because you guys remember the rumors before the 2016 one came out, it was supposed to be Bill Murray's character that was the ghost. When they were really playing with it, and it was going to be a sure thing, and then it all just went to hell.
But Bill Murray and Harold Ramis, they never spoke for like 10 to 20 years after making what is it? Making Groundhog Day. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
And I was told, or I read somewhere that a month before he died, Bill Murray made the journey and went to see him, and they made up.
Yeah.
Because he heard he was sick.
Somewhere.
Yeah,
His
he heard
daughter,
he was sick.
in a documentary, I don't know if it was the Movies That Made Us or somewhere I saw recently that his daughter confirmed it.
Yes.
Harold Ramis' daughter. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. It's funny how us as humans, it could be one really stupid thing that can destroy a friendship. It could be a word, or it could be something that you've done. You know what I mean? And it's just I don't know. Life's strange, isn't it?
My thing is, I always wondered what they fought about. Was it a woman? Because nothing really comes between people some sort of betrayal, right?
No,
what
it wasn't.
could have pissed him off?
Well, Bill Murray is well known for being a real arsehole. So when they were doing the Ghostbusters, okay, right, they didn't even know he was going to turn up to the set. They were just praying he would turn up to the set. And on the day when they were there with all the stuff and the cameras and everything, he literally turned up. He gave them no guarantee that he was going to be there. Wow. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think he has an agent either, so they have to try and get hold of him somehow.
And he's hard to get hold of. I know that one. Yeah.
But then when they say when he's there, he actually creates magic when it comes to the dialogue with the stuff that he makes up on the day. So they say he's worth the trouble. But
Kingpin.
Obviously Harold Ramis didn't think that making
I think it was all that time he spent with Hunter S. Thompson that kind of set him off the rails. It's kind of elements of his personality coming into his
LSD.
You know that bit where
too much LDS.
Do you know that bit where Harold Ramis he's got like this stethoscope on and he's trying to listen to the wood in the library?
Yeah.
And Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd comes walking in. The bit where he picks up the book and taps the thing and he throws it on Harold Ramis didn't know he was going to do that.
Oh boy.
And he just ignored it and carried on with the line. So that's Bill Murray for you. He's spontaneous that way.
So many great lines in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, so there you go.
So we're all agreed this, hopefully, fingers crossed, let's hope it's good.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
if anything, if it is good, it'll be a fingers up to the people who did 2016, which I think we're all kind of probably rooting for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not if the film's any good. We just want this film just basically stick two fingers up or the bird up at 2016.
I think I heard, because looking at the trailer, right, just staying on this a bit, looking on the trailer, it looks like they ignore the second film and focus on the first one, because the guy that plays Ant-Man, he says, you know, they saved New York City, they saved the world by getting rid of all these ghosts. Yet, didn't they save the world again? Because the Statue of Liberty started walking down the road, and they saved New York again. Then that's not mentioned. Do you know what I mean? So I think maybe they're just saying that the first Ghostbusters existed in their world and the second one didn't. Maybe we'll find out anyway.
But you know how trailers are so heavily
Exactly.
edited.
Yeah,
That's
you're right.
the tough part.
So
I think a bit of revenge would be nice, but to be honest, I'd rather just be a decent
film.
entertaining film that
That's right.
a lot of people like and bring a whole lot of decent new fans into the franchise.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I don't know if I'm just being cynical or if I'm just beaten down, but I would
Probably.
even accept. Yeah, that's true.
We all are, mate. Not just you.
If I would even accept if it's just on par with Part 2, which I didn't think was a bad film. I didn't think it was great either. But if it's on par with Part 2, I would probably just, at this point, the way things stink now, I would probably be happy.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Dean Stockwell. He was such a great actor, wasn't he? This fella.
I loved him on Quantum Leap.
Yeah. So for the peeps at home, Dean Stockwell. I'm sure everybody who's watching this, or everybody who'll be watching this on the re-rub, would have crossed paths with Dean Stockwell at some point. Born 5th of March 1936, died 7th of November 2021, natural causes. His list of credits, just too numerous to mention. I will just briefly say his last role was 2015 after a stroke. That's what forced him to... And I think he kind of started doing paintings and arty-farty stuff after that. So first role was 1945. And as I said, the last role was 2015. So how many is that? That's 60... 70, is it? Is that 70 years?
Almost 70 years.
He did have a brief
69.
hiatus, I think, in the mid-60s. He joined up with some hippie, and I'm not just using the word hippie for the sake of using it. That's what they were when I was reading online. Some hippie type of movement, and he was out of acting for a few years.
Out of it.
Yeah. Yes, in more ways than one.
He was out of it.
The thing is, he's one of the original Hollywood stars, because he started in the 40s, and that's when Hollywood was actually picking up momentum and people were noticing and stuff like that. So he was part of that world. Him, Jack Nicholson, Dennis Hopper, all those kind of actors were the start of the Hollywood world. So, and also his acting is so natural, that you just, when you watch him perform, you believe everything he says. He's one of those actors where he just performs and it's all natural. It doesn't come across like he's trying to act at all.
He does have that kind of quality, as if he's not acting at all. He's just there and it's happening. It's a strange, it's quite a rare quality to have, but there's something about his old attitude. But to me, he'll always be Al from Quantum Leap. I know my parents used to talk about him being in the older films and recognise him when I was watching Quantum Leap. But
same here. When I was a student, we all watched it on BBC.
The special effects, the special effects as well. When Al came on, and his personality and attitude in that was always that'd be problematic these days, but it was always fun to watch back then.
We never got to meet Ziggy, though, did we? In Quantum
No.
Quantum Leap ran from 89, which was my first year at university, to 1993. I always remember we used to watch it in digs
I hated the ending. It made me felt sad.
Oh, I know. That
Yeah.
I guess they had to give it resolution, but not complete resolution. And I was just like, oh.
Especially the credit at the ending.
Never
That
made it
made me
home.
feel sad. Yeah, never made it home. I just thought,
Yeah.
bollocks. That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's
I'll
a
just
shame.
do a
It was a
couple.
good show. Sorry,
It
Mr.
was.
I will just do a couple of programs, films, which he was in Jag,
Oh, yes.
obviously Quantum Leap. He was in Columbo.
A couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Who remembers Blue Velvet?
She wore blue. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you know,
Dennis
he's in that.
Hopper with
Yeah.
the
Dennis
mask.
Hopper. Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Yes, he
Oh,
was.
that's right. You know, I love Eddie Murphy, so
The Gun
Hey.
Club. He was at the Gun Club.
Gun
Yeah.
Club, yeah.
Bullets.
Dune.
Yes, he
84.
was. Yeah, because he's friends with the director, wasn't he?
Yeah.
David
Big friends
Lynch.
with David Lynch. Yeah.
And then he had a little bit of a resurgence after Quantum Leap when he was in Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
What's interesting about these actors that were born in the 40s is that when they got to that time of the year, you know, like in the late 80s or the 90s, they became the actors that you would put in films to sell films around the world.
Yeah.
So you would have a list of people. So say, for instance, you're making a medium-sized budget film and your star is, I don't know, someone that's not well known. The distributors will say, well, who else have you got? And then they'll seek people out like Dean Stockwell to play a part in there, or, you know, Dennis Hopper and stuff. So we've got Dennis Hopper, and they go, oh, okay, we'll take it because some of the countries know who they are, you know. And he became that kind of actor when it came to that point in his life. So, yeah, interesting. How
He was an Academy Award nominee too. Was it Married to the Mob, late 80s?
Yes, yeah. Yes, he was.
He's just one of these actors that I don't think anybody has got a bad word to say against him. I think everybody has got warm feelings towards this guy. He's just one of those kind of...
He's a jobbing actor. He does his job and he moves on.
Yeah.
That's, you know, that's it.
He wasn't a method actor, that's for sure.
Well, I wouldn't say Jack Nicholson, but him, Dennis Hopper. Well, Dennis Hopper was always drugged up, wasn't he? But him, Mandy Patinkin, they're all actors. They knew their job like the back of their hand. They do their job and then they go home. Sometimes they get, you know, screwed by the press or anything like that. But it seems like he avoided all that stuff, you know, and just did his job, you know, and that's that. You know?
Have we got any fans of Enterprise? Peacock, are you a fan of Enterprise?
I actually do like it. And
I do too.
And that's even before New Trek has changed my ratings. I now rate things that were okay in that time frame higher. I actually enjoyed it when it was on. I mean, do I think it's the Next Generation? Do I think it's Deep Space Nine, the original? No, but I enjoy it more than Voyager. And for the most part, they took great care to keep as much continuity as possible without going over that line.
Yeah. His friend, Scott Bakula.
Yeah.
Captain Archer. Not that I kind of was into Enterprise. I thought it was just a little bit too cynical, kind of cashing in on the Enterprise and kind of shoehorning Enterprise into something that hadn't been in canon. So I didn't kind of buy into it. I think I should probably revisit because apparently it's got better and better with age, hasn't it?
It started off being a you know, like a show, cash-in show, but then I think it was the third season or second season that you really got into it. Yeah. You know, and you really cared about the character. Yeah.
I think it was the third was the Xindi arc. So the whole season was one storyline with maybe 2 standalone episodes, maybe 3.
That's right. And also, a lot of people don't always forget that Enterprise was the first Star Trek show to use digital video.
Yes.
To their show. So yeah.
And one
Top
quick
trivia.
episode to run past you, Brown. When you do your rewatch, with the continuity, they did an episode on the Borg, which on the surface makes it seem like, oh, how could they do that? They don't run into the next generation. But they very carefully did it in a way where it won't break continuity. I don't want to, in case you don't remember, I don't want to.
Yes, I know what the episode is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Regeneration season 2.
It was very violent, as I remember. Enterprise. There were some really horrific scenes. I remember they were beating up Trip at one point. These villains were beating the crap out of Trip, and I was like, "What the hell?" And the guy's got a huge black eye, and I mean, they did push it a bit, And I did like the Vulcan woman. I can't remember her name now.
Jolene Black.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They made her up much more appealing looking as when season 3 started. They changed
Yes,
her hair
they
and
did.
they gave her a little more makeup and a better form-fitting outfit.
Yeah.
Was she gender fluid?
No, she wasn't.
No.
She was in love with Trip. She was
Yes.
in love with him.
Yep.
I think I might need to revisit.
Shame what happened to Trip, innit?
Yeah.
Spoilers.
You can skip that last episode and be fine with the show.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw the last episode. My God, it was awful. I will just say Dean Stockwell also starred in To Live and Die in LA.
He did.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Pure coincidence.
One last piece of trivia.
Yeah.
He apparently auditioned for the role of Michael Corleone in The Godfather.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Yes, I read that somewhere. I was like, what?
Yeah, there was no chance. It was Al Pacino.
Yeah.
No chance.
Al Pacino. Yeah, was in.
So on 42 minutes. So shall we get on with the film then, and we'll just crash through all the stills. So okay.
Yeah, I should probably take my leave now, you guys, because I haven't
No,
had a chance to
don't
watch
take your
this.
leave now.
No.
Where are you going?
Well, because I don't have anything to add, and
Yeah, you do.
Your presence.
Listen, if we had to sit through this film, Rennie, so do you.
Absolutely.
bullshit right there. What kind of friends are you guys?
No, we sat through it and you didn't. So you know.
We watched it so you didn't have to.
Exactly.
I watched it twice, Rennie. Twice.
3 times.
I'm pretty sure, Rennie, that there'll be moments when we were talking about this film where we'll be talking about something that's not related to the film, and then you can just come in with your bag of dicks. Do you know what I mean? So,
In fact,
So they go-
we insist. We insist.
She came in with a bag of dicks.
So is this going to be a new award segment now? Rennie presents the bag of
yeah,
Dicks award
Rennie
for-
presents. Yeah.
That's given me a great idea. End of the year, shall we have Rennie the top 10 bag of dicks award?
Yeah.
10
awesome.
10 different things. It can be anything. It can be films, TV,
Oh my
life, anything where you present a bag of dicks to.
Just right now it's settled. Just give the whole lot to Scotty. I know you want to.
I was gonna say.
No,
We'll split them up between Scotty and Cardinals then, like we originally planned. It was supposed to be a coffee
So
channel.
unprofessional.
And you can save a double-headed one or two-ended one for the grand winner.
For Lieutenant
Okay.
Baryon.
Watch
Lieutenant
it.
Brown. Yeah.
And the award goes to Mayor McCheese. You can't just leave. This isn't a Dairy Queen at Renier.
How dare you, Mayor?
If Mayor McCheese says stay, you stay.
Where's the bacon man?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Has he turned up yet?
Mayor, we
No
need some
bacon, I'm
bacon.
gone. No, just
And
kidding.
then MC, please stay.
There you go.
A Dixie up at sea.
Oh dear.
The mayor will give you the keys, or should I say the cocks to the city.
That's
Oh
right.
dear.
So I will say, Rennie, you have got about 7 weeks, 6, 7 weeks.
So what are
Your
you doing?
top-
Handing out a bag or
Your-
like the top 10 worst of the
your-
year?
It can be anything you want. Top 10 bag of dicks awards. Anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll do that Christmas week.
And the bag of dicks goes to.
Mayor McCheese.
Oh, I've got a couple ideas, but I'll tell you guys later.
Cock Kringle presents.
No, I think you should just keep it top secret. So
Okay.
when so it's news to us the time you do it on 45 minutes. So Shall we get to the film and do the blurb?
Yeah, go on then.
I can't quit you, Rennie.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so To Live and Die in LA, 1985, directed by William Friedkin. Run time 1 hour 56, 18 certificate. Somebody, in fact, Rennie just went critical mass.
Oh, she'll be back.
Yeah. Screenplay by William Friedkin, Gerald Petovich. Novel by Gerald Petovich. Produced by Irvin H. Levine. Samuel Schulman was exec producer. Bud S. Smith co-producer. Music by the amazing Wang Chung. Starring William Peterson, John Pankow, Willem Dafoe, John Turturro, Darlene Filgal, Dean Stockwell, Steve James, Robert Downey, not that one, Michael,
his pops.
and Michael Green. The budget was $8 million, gross 17.3 million. And a quick synopsis: working largely in cases of counterfeiting or feating, LA-based Secret Service agent Richie Chance exhibits reckless behavior, which, according to his lifelong and now deceased partner, Jimmy Hart, will probably land him in the morgue before he's ready to retire. So, who would like to start? Brian, you've watched it twice. Do you want to start?
Yeah.
Why not? This was a film that I didn't see the first time round way back when, so this week was the first time I watched it in its entirety. On the first viewing, it was okay watching it, but it got to a certain point, which we'll get to later on, where it completely lost me. I think we'll go into detail about that later on, I think, rather than bring it up now.
Yeah.
On the rewatch, I appreciated it slightly more after watching some of the special features, etc. I can appreciate some of the framing techniques and the way it was filmed in the almost kind of guerrilla way that the director managed to get so many of the shots.
Oh, yes.
I can appreciate that side of it. And the performances, especially Willem Dafoe, who I thought was brilliant in this. So I appreciate it better the second time round, especially the car chases.
Oh,
fantastic!
I have to say, having played Grand Theft Auto non-stop for about the last 8 years, it was like watching Grand Theft Auto. I'm not going to say it's one of my favourites, but I did start reading the book about it as well. It gives you another couple of an edge to it. But I don't think there's really a bad performance in this, but it left me feeling quite unsatisfied, certainly, especially the first time round.
I'll agree with everything you said there. How's the book, by the way? Is it any good?
It's great so far. I was aiming to have it finished before the end, but the usual life gets in the way.
It does, mate. It does.
Always.
And I applaud your professionalism for the team. Excellent, my friend. Mega Geek, what do you think?
I don't really like this film at all. I remember seeing it the first time round, thinking it was just okay, and watching it again, I just thought it was like it had no direction at all. This film. I as I said before, I'm a huge fan of William Friedkin. I actually met him, and I really admire him as a director. Yeah. But this film it's just sloppy filmmaking as far as I'm concerned. It was like that it felt like they were just making it up as they go along. That's what it felt like to me.
They were.
When I was watching it. Yeah. When I was watching it, it just felt, there was no structure to any of the scenes. Like, this cop is the dumbest cop ever on film or on TV. This cop is really dumb and stupid and reckless. I mean, when Dirty Harry was reckless, at least he had logic to what he does. This guy, complete twat. Why did he take the handcuffs off John Turturro when they were in the lift? Why? He knows that he knows that he wants to escape, but he does.
Yeah.
Right, then he gets kicked the crap out of him by him. Do you know what I mean? And it's just the dumbest thing ever. That trying to persuade William Dafoe's character that he was a counterfeiter was just, you knew it was going to blow up in his face, and it actually did.
Yeah.
But the film, I don't know. The film doesn't work for me at all. The music is really. When they put music in film, it matches the tone, but it didn't match the tone in this film at all.
What?
The music, as far as I was concerned, it really didn't.
Wow.
Apparently,
really
one of the
didn't.
reasons for that was that they just told Wang Chung roughly what they wanted for each scene, and it wasn't like some like John Williams who would watch the footage and have it all playing at the same time and all meshed in. I think that's what gave it a bit of a kind of slightly disjointed quality in places.
And also,
that's
another thing as well is that it just seems like they had the sex scenes because they wanted to show a bit of tit and bum, basically. Like there was no need. It's true. There was no need for his what is it? His not contact. What do you call it? The girl. Who was the girl to him? Informer. That's it. Informer. There was no need for that scene at all, was there? Let's face it. Yeah, and it was just so that they can show a bum and a bit of tit and stuff like that.
It was better than the 3 bare asses that we saw at one point. How many bare asses we're going to see in this film, Brown? This is a ton of much.
Yeah, so it's got something for everybody.
I understand.
Brown? I mean,
I understand what they were trying to do, right? But I think it was very much them making up as they go along, and it felt like they and like that car chase, when it was just stupid because it was obvious what Friedkin was doing. Friedkin was like saying, "No, I made the French Connection. We had a fantastic car chase, and let's see if we can top it." And they didn't top it because it was just there was no flow to it or anything. That car chase, it just kept stopping and moving, and it's just, I don't know. I'll stop now. I just didn't like this movie at all, personally. But there you go.
I'm really surprised you haven't used the word rubbish at all to describe this movie.
Well, I don't use it because I respect William Friedkin. William Friedkin is one of my favorite directors. So he doesn't make rubbish. He just, on this one, he missed big time on it. He should have had a more constructed script, a solid script to work from, but he didn't. He just, he just went out there and shot what he could shoot, and made up as they went along. And I can honestly, truly say that this isn't the worst film ever made. Not at all. It does have its moments. Yeah.
Sometimes you just make a dud, or
and he made a dud. Yeah. So
that's fair.
Yeah. I'll stop now.
I'm genuinely surprised. PCAT, what did you think?
I hate having to disagree with like a legitimate director.
Legend.
That's all right. I don't mind.
I liked it. Now,
it's
not the French Connection. It's not The Exorcist. But I liked it. I mean, I hear what you're saying. It was disjointed, and it seemed like they were just like throwing scenes together. And the car chase, which I still love, when I watched the behind the scenes for the first time about an hour before we started, now it makes sense. And what you said, Ian, actually it's not changing my mind, but it's giving me a different perspective on the scene, where you could see they were just filming little chunks here and there. They're like a scene, boom, cut, do something else, boom, cut. And they said in the documentary, they said when they do this, they said if they can't come up with a chase better than the French Connection, they're not going to do it for the movie. So like that was probably his driving force. I'm going to top the French Connection, which I don't think he did, because that scene was exhilarating. I mean, you feel like you're in the car with Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Where this again, I still like this chase scene, I do, but that documentary and then hearing Ian your perspective just takes it down a little bit. The car chase scene, still like it, but I was saying like number 3 of all time, but now it's not number 3 of all time for me anymore. and I'm not saying this, and I and again, your perspective actually helped change my mind on that, between that and the documentary. Yeah.
I could see what he was trying to do, but I don't think he achieved it. That's the thing. Yeah. And I think it's a very unfocused movie. You know, as I said, the characters are not likable at all, and the dialogue is so awful. He goes into his boss's place and he walks out, and because he wants him to sign this form, and then he says, "Don't you leave," and he comes back in, and then the guy signs the form, and it just felt like it was all made up on the spot, you know. And the guy, the main guy, there was one scene in it where he had a jacket, he had jeans, cowboy boots, and a jacket, and then he had some kind of shirt that showed his torso. I was thinking, that is just so. Who walks around like that? You know what I mean?
LA.
It's just so rubbish. I was like,
It was a bit,
why?
A bit David Hasselhoff.
There it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shades of Hoff.
I got one more question for you, Ian. As a director, watching again the behind the scenes, they talk about how Friedkin would use the rehearsals and use those scenes for the movie, and the actors didn't even know it. Like Peterson was saying in the documentary, so we're doing the rehearsal scene, just walking out of the bar, talking and with his original partner, and then he finds out, oh yeah, we shot it, done, liked it. You like that type of technique? Because it's been used by other directors.
No, I don't subscribe to that kind of filmmaking. If you look at The Exorcist had a tight script. Okay, yes, he improvised in certain things, but he had a structure to the film. That's why the film works so well. Same thing with French Connection was different because they were writing it as they went along, but they had a really good editor to put that together that made that film work. But this film, it seems like, because William Friedkin had 2 huge hits, I guess the studio allowed him to do whatever he wanted to do, and he just, you know, went and did what he did, and it's a completely unfocused movie as far as I'm concerned. But that's just what I think, you know. I don't know. All of it, you know.
But some people call it a masterpiece.
I know they do. They call 2001 a masterpiece. I thought it was boring as shit. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I thought I was the only one that found that.
I'm not the biggest fan of 2001 either.
2010's better.
Yeah, and what is it? What's that Rosebud one? Which I thought, that was so boring. Citizen Kane. Everybody said that's the best film ever made. I'm like, I beg to differ, pal. I beg to differ. You know.
Ian, thank you. I used to feel so alone on not liking 2001 and Citizen Kane.
I even thought 2010 was better than 2001. At least I had a story.
Superior. 2010 is a great film. Cruel Birab, I don't think I've seen this film or the French Connection films. I've not seen the French Connection films either.
First one is a must. First one's based on a true story. The second one is a completely. Although if you go French Connection and then what would be they call an unofficial sequel would be the 7 Ups because it's based on the same cop in real life.
Yeah.
Then Cruel says I tuned out of 2001. It's okay, but I can see why people say it's boring.
I mean, I understand it's art and the music that he used was, you know, to match the special effects stuff. Special effects is absolutely phenomenal in 2001. You know, the things they did in those days, you know, they tried to match it with. I mean, you can match it with the CGI they got today, and you could still say those effects they had in 2001 was absolutely bloody brilliant. It really was. But the whole film was, to me, was a dud. You know, seeing people walk up and down and people talking, you know, like the guy from Rising Damp was in one
Leonard
scene.
Rossiter,
You know, Rossiter, they were talking for 15 minutes. You're like, what the hell? You know?
Rigsby in space.
Rigsby. Miss Jones. Okay, Brian, if you could keep an eye on the chat and I will do my button pressing.
Righto.
If that's okay. Saves me swapping screens. So
Rennie, what do you think of the lion in this scene here?
It looks very familiar. No, I'm just kidding. Like it's the MGM lion, but yeah, it's all right. You know, they did away with him, didn't they? Or
They did.
yeah. It's kind of sad. I haven't been to Vegas in years, but they actually had an MGM casino out there, and I wonder what happened to it.
What was it? What was it? Because that lion had a name, didn't he, or she? Or...
Oh,
Lenny.
I don't remember.
Was it Lenny?
Billy Bob?
I think so. Lenny the lion. I mean, makes sense to me.
In fact, I think talking about this is far more interesting than talking about Live and Die in LA.
Okay. So we'll talk about the lion for the next hour. Okay.
Lieutenant Brown.
Lieutenant Bane.
Sorry, Ian, you've got to take the rough with the
I
smooth.
know.
We could do all the classics every week and we'd get bored. But there you
Yeah, I
go.
know.
I like this film anyway.
What's that little face at the bottom of that light? It's like a little smiley face with a heart for a mouth. What's that all about? I just noticed that.
I don't know. Never paid attention, I guess.
It looks like
That's
one of
weird.
them. I know it's not, but it looks like that blue Muppet with like the.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I will say, MC, earn your money. If there's a man who can in the chat, MC can find out what that is.
You be the man who can.
Okay, so we'll just crash through the pictures, and when we feel like stopping for a couple of moments, we'll stop. So, December 20th, supposed to be a Christmas film, yet there's no tinsel.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Yeah.
So we're making up as they went along. That's why.
Presidential. What's the word I'm looking for?
Detail.
Yes.
Caravan.
Convoy.
Go with the bodyguards.
Apparently, Ronald Reagan is in there.
Is he?
Yeah, he's the president. Yeah.
Bollocks.
Nancy, hand me a
Motorcade, is that the word?
Well.
Yes, motorcade. Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
Yes.
The word eluded me because I'm old. So they pull up at the hotel somewhere in Los Angeles. There's the protagonist.
He was in NCIS, wasn't he? Oh, no, NCIS.
Yeah,
CSI.
the regular or
CSI. That was
the
it,
regular one in
CSI.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Yep.
This was his first starring role, wasn't it, Brian?
It was indeed.
Yeah. So there's a waiter with a meal in the hotel.
Go
And then
figure.
he goes to check because he's guarding. Well, the Secret Service are in this one room playing cards, while the president is making a speech somewhere.
Yep.
And apparently, the president will be playing cards with them for half an hour later. So Chance follows this waiter, sees the empty plate. There's Jimmy, who's listening to what's going on. Chance goes upon the...
So I was just going to say quickly from Crew Al, saying he was in the original Manhunter with...
He was.
I love that.
Brian
movie.
Cox. That's Brian Cox, the actor, not Brian Cox. It was in D-Ream.
No, yeah.
Chance goes on the ceiling, sees looks like a police officer down. Then a suicide bomber, death to Israel.
Death to Ming. Sorry, that's the wrong film.
Hell, Ming.
Hell Ming.
He's obviously wanting to take the president out.
Yeah, for a meal and stuff. Oh, no. Yes. I get what you mean.
Ruin spitting image.
Whining and dining the president.
Character's too valuable.
Hold it, buddy.
Yeah, the
And there's
dialogue's
Jimmy.
terrible in this bit. Yeah.
Jimmy's getting too old for this shit.
Yeah, he did say that, didn't he? He did say that. And all he got was a sprained shoulder, didn't he? After the guy blew himself up. It's true. Look, see? There you go. Yeah, just a bit of that.
No blood on the shirt. I've just noticed that.
Yeah. He was falling, I guess. So
Poor Jimmy. He's getting too old for this shit. Poor Jimmy.
they really don't look like they've worked together, these two. They look that, like sometimes when you get two actors together and you can tell the chemistry between them and it seems like
Tango
they
and Cash.
belong. Yeah.
It's not
Like
Riggs and
Starsky and
Murtaugh.
Hutch, Riggs and Murtaugh. These two guys doesn't work with these two guys.
Rennie and a bag of dicks.
Dick and Bob.
They're legendary combos.
Look, they're not necessarily mine. I give them out to people. I'm a generous person. Okay.
So where'd you get your bag of dicks then? Do you order it from Amazon or something?
You can actually. You can
From
order
China.
a bag of gummy dicks and send them to your friends.
Right, okay.
I'll need to get you guys' addresses for Christmas.
321 Elm Street.
Stocking stuffers.
Dear, right there.
Just harking back for a second, I thought this when MC has come up with it, talking about the MGM logo.
Yeah.
It's the comedy mask at the bottom of the MGM logo. Usually two masks, comedy and tragedy. I did think that, but then
well done, MC.
It's just one mask, isn't it? That they used to have
not
two.
The other one,
just the one, but it is that kind of thing.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
Perhaps the one is more gender neutral now.
Yeah. This is a nice shot, isn't it?
Yeah, the opening titles. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of nice shots in this film.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
A lot of it is nicely filmed.
It's LA anyway. LA's got that golden light, hasn't it? When you're filming there, it's got that golden light. In England, it's all so in LA. Yeah, exactly. In LA, they've got orange light. In England, we've got blue light. It's because of the dull weather.
Yeah.
Well, and the smog in LA. I used to live in Southern California.
Oh yeah, of course.
Smog is just everywhere.
Yeah.
Rennie, was you around LA in '84 then?
Not quite. I was almost there, but not quite. Yeah. But yes, I remember living in that area. I love LA. I know that's a very unpopular opinion, but I love LA.
I didn't like it for some reason. I used to go there for meetings and stuff.
Yeah, I like LA.
Do you?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
I used to find that pain in the ass to get anywhere. You have to drive.
Yeah. No, that's true.
Not walking distance anywhere, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, so we're doing the opening titles, and here's the hint of what's going on.
Yeah.
Counterfeiting.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe. Actually, he doesn't look that ugly there, does he? Because he's quite young.
Yeah.
You know, I remember Rennie was saying he's one of the ugliest people she's ever seen. I remember you said that once.
I don't
ugly
think
or
he was ever
fugly?
attractive, you know? Poor thing. And he's been in some semi-softcore porn stuff, and I just don't see what the appeal is in that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
So you heard it first, folks. Rennie prefers hardcore.
Oh my gosh.
So Defoe is playing, is it Masterson?
Rick Masters, or Eric Masters is sometimes referred to.
Who's an artist, and as a sideline, he's up to no good.
He's always up to no good.
Started making trouble in the neighborhood. Oh, sorry. Wrong.
That's right.
No, wrong movie.
So he's painted a painting, doesn't like it, and he sets fire to it. And trivia for this one, Willem Dafoe painted that.
Oh yeah, I can see you painted it. Do you know what I mean?
Method, you see.
But
Probably did it while laughing like the Green Goblin. You know.
Yeah, exactly. So, what you call it? But this scene has got nothing to do with anything. Absolutely nothing to do with it. If you took this scene out, it wouldn't matter to the plot of the story. If you can call it a plot, because it's very loose.
It kind of works with the ending.
Yeah, when he gets burnt, but
it kind of loops. It's a kind of
oh wow,
works, but there's a kind of parallel there. And it kind of shows you his attitude towards his own art. He's kind of frustrated artist, and he's a perfectionist, I would say. Just going by.
I reckon that was an accident.
You think? I think it's. And I'm usually the one that's the cynic, but I think he's done that on purpose.
Deliberately? Or maybe so.
I think so. I could be wrong, but it just why else would you have that in? Other than to kind of show you his attitude towards doing stuff absolutely right and being a perfectionist.
Yeah. Evil man though in this film, wasn't he? Very
not
evil.
pleasant. Nice house though. He's going to jump. He's going to bungee jump, isn't he?
Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah, but the thing is, though,
rush, isn't it?
Look at the costume he's wearing. Well, I call it a costume. Look at the stuff he's wearing there. It just the whole tone of this film doesn't. Oh, sorry, I'll stop. I just think that, like, for instance, right, you know the guy that worked with Willem Dafoe, he doesn't. He just looks like someone that lives across the road. The casting's really awful in this film.
Yeah.
I don't know how you felt about it. I just thought
it was a small budget. Will budget be anything to do with it? Or
no, I just think it's Freakin', because Freakin' likes to do things off kilter.
Yeah. Brian on one of the about videos, didn't Freakin' say he wanted to cast unknowns? Some famous actors auditioned, and he just told them straight, "You're too famous."
Yeah, but still, he should have taken them because you would have got better performances.
Yeah, I think one of the actors, the name escapes me. Friedkin said, "Well, great audition, but you're too famous. Do you know anybody?" And he recommended Peterson because he was starring in a play somewhere in Canada, apparently.
If you've listened to the way when Freakin' is being interviewed, if you listen to the way he's being interviewed, he's a very tough man, William Freakin'. Very, very tough, and doesn't swears a lot and tells you exactly what's on his mind, and it's got him into trouble a lot, actually.
Much like yourself.
Nah, I'm a pleasant person.
He'll smack a priest in a movie to get the right performance out of him.
Yeah. See, there you go. Yeah, there you go. So, but yeah.
So bungee jump, The Rush.
So this is when he turns into Superman, Rennie, and he starts flying across the city.
Get out!
Since she hasn't seen the film.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And Jimmy has decided to retire before Christmas, literally on Christmas, hasn't he? So
the 23rd.
2 more days, and he's retired. So obviously, 2 days to retirement, and we all know he's going to get, don't we?
Yeah, dead
Is the
meat.
trope,
Might as well write dead meat on his forehead.
Gonna get
Knew he
it.
was going to die. Yeah.
Apparently, this scene was the first take, wasn't it? This was the rehearsal, wasn't it, Brian?
Yeah, this one.
They just walked out the bar, rehearsing. And then they thought they were going to go again, and Friedkin said, "Nah, we got it. Let's move on."
But he looks like his dad. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't work. The casting does not work. This guy looks like his dad, and dad and son relationship. That's what it feels like to me. And what the hell is this fella wearing? What is he wearing now on his arm? And he's got the this film does not work for me at all.
I think it's a Steelers jersey.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah,
man.
that would be on the if you look at the Steelers, they have on each arm the gold band.
Right.
Oh, and just by the way, Gary Sinise initially auditioned for the part, and then he recommended Peterson.
And then he ended up in CSI, and then Gary Sinise ended up in the New York one. Wow, what a connection!
Yep.
Yeah.
Top trivia.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll do a couple of chats before we move on.
Kush Canberra, yeah.
Cruel Barab in chat.
And
talking about the actors. Was it too famous or was it too expensive?
No. Was this is a low budget film, wasn't it?
8 million. 8 million.
8 million.
Yeah.
Wow, what I could do with 8 million.
On
retire.
Yeah.
On Friedkin, MC says he's meant to be very hard on the actors.
He is. He actually had a big shotgun and shot it halfway through a scene in The Exorcist to make somebody jump in the scene.
Wow.
That's how crazy he is. Yeah, he's crazy. He's a crazy director. Yeah.
Andy Marston says this was a sleeper when it came out.
Was it? Well, I almost fell asleep watching.
It depends on what your definition of sleeper is.
Ian, I think you're being a little harsh, but that's just me.
Well, it's just my opinion. Doesn't mean it's saying right. I mean, a lot of people love this film, you know.
Okay, if you had to watch this again or Indiana Jones 4, what would you do?
Ooh.
Indiana Jones 4? Which one was that?
The one with the aliens?
Oh, no, I'd watch Indiana Jones. I wouldn't watch this again.
Ooh. Oh, ouch. Ouch.
So there you go, Brad. That's the level of
you think you know somebody, don't you?
No, but
Stream killer.
Yeah.
I don't, it's nothing against Freakin'. Freakin's one of my favorite directors. I love Freakin', but I'm
when
sorry.
When did you meet him?
I met him at the NFT in the BFI, and God, if you've got time, basically my friend snuck me in because he was talking to students from university.
Wow.
So, and I'm a huge fan. So I told my friend, please sneak me in. So she sneaked me in, and he was doing a talk to these students. And I was sitting at the back, so I was trying to hide in the shadows because it was a big auditorium. And he stopped talking halfway through, and he went, "You over there." And I just looked behind me, and he was literally talking to me. And he said, "What are you doing sitting over there? Come closer, come closer." So I came closer. And then he carried on talking. Fascinating man, because he started doing documentaries. And then at the end, when he said, "Thank you very much," and everybody was clapping, he said, "You stay where you are," when everybody's finding out. And he was talking to me. I was like, "What the fuck?" And then he came down and he said, "You're not a student, are you?" And I said, "No, I'm not." And he said, "I could tell." And I said, "Okay." And he said, "Well, what do you do?" And I said, "Well, I direct. I'm a huge fan, and I just wanted to hear you talk." And he sat there and he spoke to me for half an hour, just me and him in the auditorium.
Were you a fanboy?
I wasn't crushing on him, put it that way. But I love his movies, and I think he's a really talented director. And then,
wow,
I asked him for advice. I said, "Well, if you were in position, what would you do?" And he just said, "I'll give you some advice, kid." He said, "Learn to eat crow, kid. Learn to eat crow." And then he walked off. And I didn't know what that meant. I had to look it up. So so that I never forget that, because I think the man's amazing personally as a director. I think he's amazing. I don't know what he's like in real life as a person, but I think he's a really good director.
Is eating crow similar to eating a bag of dicks?
Well, he was talking about, I was saying to him, how do you deal with people saying that your films are shit and stuff? He basically said that, you just ignore them, you just eat crow. Yeah. And I didn't know what that meant at the time. And I said, "Have you got any advice for me?" He says, "Yeah, kid, eat crow." Eat crow, learn how to eat crow and move on. That's what he said to me. And he said, "It was a pleasure meeting you." And he shook my hand. I was like, "I'm supposed to be shaking your hand, mate."
Such a cool story.
Yeah, and I just think the man's amazing personally. As
what
I said,
year was that?
Oh, that was, I think it must have been 10 years ago or something like that. Yeah. He was over here doing a talk because he started off doing documentaries. That's how he started off. And he wanted to be a lawyer, but then across the road there was this. He went to the wrong place, and he went to the production house, and they gave him the job, and that's how he got started. So there you go.
Happy accident.
Yeah, happy accident. So, anyway, I shall stop now.
Meanwhile, back at the film,
exactly.
Defoe is doing reprographics on some $20 bills. I will say, coming from a printing background, all this was accurate. I've done this job myself.
Oh, you're a counterfeiter?
Well, not counterfeiting, but I've done all the repro stuff.
Okay.
All the red tape stuff, and
that's
and the spotting out and everything.
Yeah, that's the old ways they used to do it, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
oh yes,
I remember that. Yeah, no computers.
Yeah,
one for you in the chat, Mr. Brown. Because it pertains to you.
Yeah.
Oh, have I got to switch screens?
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise. I'll read it out if you want. MC in the chat says, the good old days of using opaque on an egg to cover the holes.
Yeah, yeah. Simpler days when you had to paint something, you had to literally get paint.
Yeah, on a plate making vacuum.
Yeah. There
you go. The lighter plates.
It's a pretty cool scene, especially.
So Rennie, do you still think he's ugly? Look, he's
fresh
quite young
face.
there.
I think Rennie's
gone.
Popped off for a second. She's
popped. She's popped.
This is him inking the plate Now, I had to look. I think this is inaccurate because I'm sure American money is printed with spot colours and not the CMYK process. And
yeah, but he's counterfeiting it, isn't he? So he's not necessarily doing it the way it's supposed to be done. He's doing a fast.
No, he's using no. This would take longer.
Oh, will it?
Because a spot colour, he would mix an ink colour to the specific colour, whereas this is printing it for colour. So I think this is inaccurate. So he's doing the numbers as well.
Yeah.
He actually mixed a green for those numbers, so he does. That was accurate.
But I mean, he does a good job there. Look at that. Look real.
Yeah, on the documentary, they printed these for real, and they got into trouble, didn't they, Brian?
Yeah, but apparently one of the cast or crew's sons decided to take one of the notes and try and spend it, a $20 bill, but it was only printed on one side.
Idiot.
So he called the police and they get hauled over the coals for this. Apparently the consultants, in inverted commas, were actually people who had done time for counterfeiting. Yeah. So I think technically they were breaking the law with what they did, but there's another scene later on where he burns a whole pile of notes.
But that's William Friedkin for you. He literally go to the real people and find out the information. He wouldn't go to a researcher. He'll literally go. I mean, William Friedkin is well known for that. Yeah. Definitely well known for that.
So the Willem character is throwing the money in the tumble dryer with some chips to kind of break the paper down to age the paper. And then he's dumping the printed money in the dumpster.
Then he's not putting any Lenore in there just to make it smell fresh. You're not putting
Possibly.
No. Oh dear.
And then Jimmy is on his way.
He certainly is.
Yeah.
I just love the roads in America. When you see that, I just love that. I just think it's so American.
Don't like the roads in LA. Bloody hell.
Yeah, pretty bad, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. You could be stuck there forever.
So Jimmy's casing the joint, sees the bag in the dumpster.
But why on his own?
Yeah. Because his partner offered backup, didn't he? And he said no.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, he said no for no apparent reason.
Yep.
When you watch that bit again, when he goes up and hides around the rocks, you hear a snapping noise. And he looks about as if there's somebody, and then you see him kind of relax. Nah, there's nobody here.
Yeah. Wrong. Yeah, exactly. Poor fella. He had dead meat written on him anyway. So.
Yep. I didn't like this guy. He was a bit of a horrible.
He reminds me of someone I can't think who.
Yeah.
Some English fella.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He just looks like someone that just lives down the road. It just didn't work for me. It really didn't. And the way he's dressed as well, it's like, no. Anyway, that's just me, I guess.
Mid-80s, though, flight jacket type thing, because I wore them.
Did you?
Yeah. Jimmy's been shot. Jimmy gets a shotgun to the head, and that's it. So, following day, I think.
Christmas Eve.
The same day? Yeah.
Christmas Eve. And they see him in a dumpster, but you don't see the corpse, do you? He just looks in the dumpster and just stares at it. You're like, okay.
The warehouse has been cleared. There's the chips. Jimmy's blood.
Let them fall where they may, yeah.
And then sees him dead.
Look, and he's not even wearing a shirt, or is he? I think he is wearing a shirt.
Yeah, red shirt, yeah.
Red shirt.
Straight out of Hasselhoff's.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
his wardrobe.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, this bit was filmed in Pacific Heights. So it's living and dying in LA, but staying in Pacific Heights on the beach.
And also, this dialogue between this new chap and him was so
Vukovic.
bad. It was so bad. So you're going to go after him, are you? Yeah. I'm going to get that son of a bitch. You know, it's like, oh, for God's sakes, no.
I haven't read this bit in the book, but some of the previous scenes, the dialogue was absolutely spot on with the book.
Oh, was it?
Word for word. So how much of that is the source material? Wow. I can't tell you.
I just think it's horrible. This dialogue here and this bit of dialogue here is terrible. Absolutely awful. But as I said, just me.
Do you think there's actually a good film trying to get out?
I think is this based on a novel? Because I don't know the history of this.
The same name. The guy who wrote the novel was actually a Secret Service. The agent himself.
Well, yeah, I guess if the novel was a good bestseller, then yeah, you know. But as I said, knowing Friedkin, he just went, fuck the novel, let's just shoot what we can, you know. And we probably did that, you know. So
the main twist in it. It's the biggest deviation from the book.
And
we'll talk about it later on, but I don't
think and again, this casting for the boss just doesn't work. This guy looks like he belongs in a sitcom. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't look like someone that's been, you know, someone in the police forever. You know, he doesn't.
Robert Downey Sr. there playing.
Yeah.
A character called Thomas Bateman, and Thomas Bateman in real life is Daisy Ridley's fiance. For a bit of consistency over the time.
Oh,
wow.
Oh.
He recently died this year, apparently.
Oh, yes.
July, I think. That's Robert Downey's dad, everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is Iron Man's dad.
Yeah. So they've all gone. So I think it's Cody is taking a flight, paying with dodgy money.
This character is a very strange name in the book. And his name in the book is Carmine Falcone, which if any Batman fans out there will realise,
yes,
it's a big villain. But apparently this character was written in the book first before Carmine Falcone.
All right.
So a bit of a strange crossover. It isn't really mentioned much.
Who's the actor again?
John
Turturro.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
It just never ages.
I think that's one of his first roles, I think.
Yeah.
Barton Fink, Miller's Crossing, latterly the Transformers.
Yes.
Barton Fink, great film.
Got pissed on by one of the Transformers. I remember that.
He was good in a TV adaptation of a book about the Yankees called The Bronx is Burning. Turturro.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Wasn't he also what's that character called? Monk's brother in Monk.
Yes. Even more neurotic and wacky.
Yeah. I remember that episode. It was quite a good episode, actually. I did like Monk.
Vukovic is checking the money see if it's dodgy, and it is. And then he gives his partner the signal, and Cody's off with the suitcases.
Big chase.
Yeah. And then Chance is running over the escalator, which he was told not to, but he did it anyway.
Of course, because he's a maverick, the worst kind.
Apparently, when they were on set in the airport, if you look at the behind the scenes, the airport manager or the manager of the day said you can't do that, or everybody will do it. And then Friedkin said to Peterson, "Well, do it and then pretend you forgot." So they shot it like this, and then he shot it just running through, and they said, "We'll use that one," but obviously used that.
That's what I'm saying. You know, I mean, Friedkin is very well known for doing this, just pissing people off just to get the shots and stuff.
Yeah.
You
know. Cody's in the bog.
Yeah.
Gets arrested.
Yeah.
That was a bit slightly farcical when the
other police officer came in.
Yeah.
It was kind of not quite the Mexican standoff, but some similar.
Yeah. And then Cody's in the clink.
That scene is... Sorry. That scene's pretty much word for word. That one, especially.
Oh, okay.
The start of the book.
Because apparently, did Masters? He was accusing Cody of
The money.
stealing some money, but he said, "No, I didn't." Was it Waxman? I think it was Waxman.
Max.
Yeah.
The in between, yeah.
Said he didn't. And then we got Dean Starkwell trying to look for Ziggy. Can't find Ziggy.
He is a solicitor, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Who he's kind of playing all sides off against each other, isn't he?
He certainly is.
Saul Goodman type to a degree.
Yeah.
Good connect. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is Peterson's informant, Chance's informant.
She was the love interest in Running Scared with Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines, wasn't she? She was Billy Crystal's ex-wife in that film. Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Top trivia.
She was really good too in the Michael Mann TV series Crime Story. She was Dennis Farina's wife.
Got nice tits. Sorry, did I say
passed
that?
away as well. She's
lovely.
I'm afraid.
She's lovely.
Early onset dementia.
Yeah,
Oh,
such
it's
a
a
young
shame.
age too.
Yeah, it's a shame.
She was in her mid-50s when it hit, and by early 60s
God.
she passed.
Wow, that's no age.
Yeah.
So we go into this dancing club where it's Masters, isn't it? Is bit on the side.
Yes.
Is dancing. Here she is with Masters. And guess who that is, everybody?
Yes, we know who that is. That's Daphne from Frasier. She did a lot. She was one of the Benny Hill girls, wasn't she, as well?
Oh,
Daphne.
wow.
Yeah, she was in one of the Benny Hill girls. And then she went to LA and her whole life changed once she got cast in Frasier.
Where did it all go wrong for her?
No, it didn't. I mean, the girl got married to, like a really wealthy American,
Good
I think, geezer. And she's just living the life now, isn't she? She's done great work in Frasier, and, who would have thought that Benny Hill girl could act and be as funny as she was in that show? She was really good.
Isn't Frasier coming back?
Apparently so.
Yeah, there's rumor. Yeah, they were talking about it.
Yeah. Right. So we're going to the church, and the guys are doing a surveillance on. Is it Max? What's the name of the guy? Max.
That looks like a
Maxwell?
record cover. That does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Go west. Go west.
Go west.
Max Waxman.
Max Waxman. She looks like Claudia Schiffer.
She does. Deborah Frewer.
Oh.
That might be the image that you see for the next Indiana Jones movie. With what's her face? Yeah.
So they're trying to find out where this money disappeared.
Yeah, and he had it all along.
Yeah.
She baited him.
Yeah.
She's like, I love the rain. She leaves the door open, and it's like, duh. Do you know what I mean? You know something's going to happen.
Chance is talking to Vukovic about bungee jumping. Saying, you love it, man. We're going to go do it.
Looks like they're having a piss up against the wall, isn't it?
Yeah. And then the rain.
Nice little framing techniques there. There's a few of them actually in this scene.
Yeah.
Well done.
I want my money.
I want my money.
Money. I want it now.
He shoots him, doesn't he?
Right in the
Shoots him in
bollocks.
Was it in the leg?
Ooh.
No.
Yeah,
I think,
top
is it
of
in
the
the
leg,
bollocks
yeah.
or the leg? Yeah, leg. Shot him in the leg.
I'd say groinal area.
Yeah.
I'm sure the bullet will go through and hurt.
Today that would be digital, wouldn't it? The squibs look so much better. The squibs.
I get distracted with the digital blood with the shoot.
So do I.
Yeah. Come back, squibs. All is forgiven.
Think about the Godfather scene with the digital. It would have been when Sonny was shot. That would have been terrible.
Oh yeah, it would have been.
Or Mr. Kinney in RoboCop.
Oh
yeah.
Yep.
The most glorious death of them all.
They cut bits of that too.
So
well, they put it back in,
see
didn't
the
they?
Squibs. Yeah.
They put it back in. Yeah.
Made it worse when they actually cut it. It was funnier when it was just black humor. Call a paramedic after it's been fucking tumbling up.
It's just a glitch, so.
We call this a glitch. We should do RoboCop at some point.
RoboCop.
Classic.
The police have arrived.
Those two were idiots, weren't they? They fell asleep and they didn't. What? Bloody ridiculous, isn't it?
And when it's too late, they've realised they're in.
Mm.
And he steals one of the evidence books.
He does.
With all the codes of the deals and monies and stuff.
The assassination makes more sense in the book.
Mm.
He comes through the back entrance and the curtain's open and he just puts a shotgun through and kills him there. There's no interaction, just then disappears.
Wow.
That's why it looks a bit kind of convoluted and strange. And
it does.
Is Rennie back?
No, she's not well.
Oh, okay.
She's back. She's back.
Yeah, I had a bleep.
Sorry. Hello, young lady. How are you? You feeling better?
Okay. A little bit, yeah. Sorry about that. I had to take a couple minutes away, but when I came back, I was disconnected. So.
Oh, right. Because Brown was slagging you off, don't you? You do realise that?
Sounds about right.
Have you ordered? Have you ordered the container full of dicks? Yes.
Not yet, Lieutenant Brown.
You need to get them over from China.
Lieutenant Brown.
That's going to be miniature dicks then.
Yeah.
Little wee-wees.
Yeah.
Cats.
The wee-wee award goes to
Lieutenant Brown.
Lieutenant Brown.
Meanwhile, back at the film.
Yeah. What's that line in Forrest Gump? Will you marry me, Forrest? And he goes, okay.
Okay, Jane.
Jane.
I've not seen it, thank God.
Have you not?
Oh, let's not review it, please. It's such a depressing movie.
It's a great movie. What are you talking about?
No.
So much fun.
Shawshank was a much better movie that year.
Shawshank, yeah.
Oh, great film.
It is a good film.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like Forrest Gump, though. Forrest Gump was fun. It was fun, man.
Yeah.
Is life like a box of chocolates? Blah, 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 blah,
God,
blah.
Life's like a box of chocolate.
I gotta pee.
I gotta pay.
Welcome to Changing the Film Entirely.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, back in the
I can't quit you.
So back in the Secret Service, looks like an IT department.
It does, doesn't it? And this is one of the problems
80s.
I had with the films. This is one of the problems I have with the films. It's like they just threw things in there, and it just looks rubbish. That set looks rubbish.
So Vukovic is doing his nut about the book.
There are rules.
Yeah.
Screw the rules. You're gonna dub me in. I'm not a snitch. Yeah. Whatever.
Then Chance goes to see his informant for a bit of how's your father?
How's your mother? She's all right.
Well, yeah. What would you do if I stop informing for you?
Mm-hmm.
Throw you back in prison.
Grass you up, love.
That's, what a caring chap, hey?
Yeah.
Trivia time. Who's the guy on the left?
I don't know. He looks familiar.
Lieutenant Brown?
Is he Lieutenant Dan?
I know who it is.
Who is it? Who be it then?
Gary Coleman.
Close.
Cole?
Cole.
Yeah.
Midnight Caller himself, Gary Cole.
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
even look like him.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
One of his first roles, apparently.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Canadian Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Sorry, I've got Lieutenant Brown on the brain. Okay. I got to get out of this southern mode. Oh, gross.
Bam. Bam.
Moving on. So,
Oh yeah, this is such a stupid bit, isn't it?
He busts one of the guy's credit cards.
Yeah.
No chip and pin there.
No chip and pin. He's got American Express there.
Good to go.
Absolutely. It's got the American Express. Can you see it?
Diners Club as well.
Mm-hmm.
Diners Club.
Does
MasterCard.
Diners Club exist anymore?
I don't know.
Pass.
Mm.
And then here we go.
I'll chuck you over, he says, and he's
Tell
like,
me where he's printing money.
he's printing it in his house. I don't know why they didn't search his house. Anyway,
Yep.
that would have been easy.
Then Vukovic goes to see this
Little
artist teacher.
Mm.
Would they do anything like that now? They wouldn't, would they?
I don't know. Well, probably. Well, it's another tick box, isn't it? If they do it now.
Oh, true.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they might do it now.
So the motives will be changed, right? Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, it's checking off boxes rather than telling a story. But yeah.
Yeah.
So he tells Vukovic that Masters had a
Chinese
warehouse.
sign on the warehouse and stuff, doesn't he? He says he's got a Chinese sign in the warehouse.
Yeah. Who's Brian? Who's this guy? He's been
He
in
looks
lots of-
very familiar. Yeah. Oh, I know what he was in. He was in The Exterminator. You remember that film? I'll Be Back. The Exterminator, the guy with the flamethrower,
Mm-hmm.
and he was his friend
Yep.
that got killed.
Was he
Yep.
in American Ninja as well?
That was it too. He was
That,
in that too. Yeah.
The Delta Force, the first one.
Yes, that too. Yeah.
Another lad who is on the wrong side of the turf, sadly, 41.
Jeez.
Mm. Yeah.
Because what's his Brian? What's his name? Sorry, I've forgotten.
Cannot remember. Sorry, let you down.
I always get him mixed up with Jim Kelly. You know, Jim Kelly from Enter the Dragon. The guy with
Steve
the
James.
afro.
Steve James.
Steve
Yeah.
James. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Steve James was quite a big star on the old VHS days back in
He
the
was
early
indeed.
80s.
He
Massive
was indeed.
star.
Yeah. So I was about to ask Rennie so William Defoe here, Rennie, he's really young here. Do you think he's still fugly or is he passable here?
He's just not attractive for me, I guess. I don't know. I can see how some people may see that, but also am not into gingers, so there is that. But yeah, I've just never found him an attractive man, no matter how old or young he was. But it doesn't help the fact that he gets kind of creepy looking when he's older. But
He does. He
Yeah.
does. It's creepy looking.
He's
because
got
you
a
know what he's
very-
going to turn into.
He's got a very unique look that lends itself well to playing villains. And
Yes, he
It
High,
does.
really
high
does,
cheekbones.
doesn't
Dramatic.
it?
Yeah,
Kind of like Javier Bardem. It's a creepy looking dude.
he is.
Yeah.
Good actor, though. Good actor.
Yeah.
The meeting was to whack this guy.
Yeah. It's really funny because, if somebody's going to get hit, that guy says to
Don't
him
know,
next to
man.
him.
Don't know, man.
Yeah, and they're all walking towards him, and he couldn't figure out it was him.
Yeah.
Crazy. And that afro's amazing, isn't it? Look at that. It's
Oops.
glowing in the sunlight. Brilliant. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Needs a little soul glow.
He does.
Oh no,
doesn't
that's
it?
a cool movie. Coming
Last
to
Dragon.
America. Sorry.
Oh, Last Dragon was a good
Last
film.
Dragon, yep.
Well, yeah.
The power of the glow.
Yeah.
That's a great film.
Who's the
Bruce
master?
Leroy.
Who's the master?
yeah. They were going to remake that, weren't they? And they didn't in the end.
Yeah.
We were massively into that film back in the VHS days.
Yeah.
Massively into it. And I recently rewatched it, and it's
not very good.
still some happy memories, I'll put it that way.
I used to like the kung fu in it. I used to speed through all the talking. I used to look at the kung fu.
They used
Because he
to
was
show
quite
it on
good.
HBO, but over here all the time when I was a kid. Come home from school, boom, put on HBO, it's on.
Yeah.
Rennie, have you seen The Last Dragon?
It's been a long time. I don't remember much about it at all.
No.
You are the last dragon.
Yeah.
You
I remember the bit in the cinema
of
where
the
the guy says to him, who's better? I'm the master. And the little kid goes, I know who's better than you. And he goes, who? Bruce Leroy.
catches bullets with his teeth.
Yeah. It was
With
funny.
his teeth?
Yeah.
Sure enough.
Yeah. Very good film. Oh yeah, they tried to beat him up here, don't they? And they didn't get away with it.
Yeah, they didn't get away with it. They didn't.
No.
They didn't whack him. So He puts Cody in detective custody and tries to make a deal. He's drinking some pink shit because he's got an ulcer.
Yeah.
And then I've forgotten where this is.
He leaves, doesn't he? Because he couldn't make the deal. Left him in there, and he goes. I think he goes. Does he go back home or something? I don't know. Or he goes back to that woman. I know. This is.
This
wants
is
his money back.
Yeah, he wants his money back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes to see Rice.
Yeah.
I haven't got it, man. I haven't got it.
Yeah, and then
what are you doing in my crib?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That little fight, didn't they? It was like really rough and tumble fight. And,
oh yeah.
And he has that knife, and he says, I'm gonna fuck you up. No, he doesn't say that. Sorry, he says something similar.
You leave my house.
Yeah.
I think the documentary they mentioned that they didn't really choreograph it, and they told the cinematographer
No shit.
not to. There's no marks that they're gonna hit. They're just gonna let them do their own thing. Yep.
Oh dear.
But you can see that's what they did. It's not. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? It's just a ridiculous fight. So it's just stupid. As far as
I recommend accidentally hit the times 1.75 speed on this. If you watch that fight scene, it's absolutely fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like Benny Hill.
It's like, dang, they're good.
That's what I'm saying. I think William Friedkin was lazy here. He really should have constructed this film, but he didn't. He just kind of thought he was, he was indestructible as a director.
All right, so it suffered for it, is what you're saying.
Of course, the whole film suffers, doesn't it? So
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he actually found that place and they shot in a real place. I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't a studio, because it does look like a real place. So
I think it was.
Yeah. Ah, well.
Nasty. I want my money.
I want my, what is it? No, he didn't say money. He said he wanted his paper. Is it paper?
Yeah, paper.
I want my paper. Well, you can go to the shops and buy the Times.
Yeah, and then nude scene, burning his paper.
Again, what's with the nude scene? Why does he have to be naked to burn his paper, for God's sakes? Stupid.
Gross.
Cleansing himself? I don't know.
It's just... it's not as PCAT points out. Yeah, PCAT points out that bit where they're all changing in the locker room. That was just stupid as well. We're coming up to that bit though.
Yeah.
Was that your favorite scene, PCAT?
How did you know?
It just sounds like
Chance is after is it a warrant? And he's obviously
he wants him to sign this paper. I can't remember. I got bored with this bit. Yeah.
And then the judge is basically saying, "Don't come in here," blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "He killed my partner," and then the judge has a change of heart.
Yeah. Signs the paper.
Yeah. January 19th. And Cody's getting freed. So we'll just bash through these. So they go to the. He tricked him into saying that he's got a daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stupid. The stupidest cop in the entire of film history. This guy is.
And then Chance goes down on him.
Oh God. Yeah. Seriously.
Wow.
Those kicks were quite close though. Between when he kicks him in the balls, it was quite close.
Yeah.
That kick.
I guess he wanted a little Italian, so.
Apparently, the name was from another inmate who Cody was with in the jail, which is how he knew the name.
Idiot.
And that's where the doctor's telling him. So he knows he's fucked up. So Dean Stockwell and Vukovic, and I think they're discussing the case about what they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the Dean Stockwell character is in cahoots with Willem Dafoe.
Everyone.
Yeah. So he's setting a meeting up.
Yeah. Was he telling him like, if you take a deal, they'll sentence you 7, but you'll serve maybe a year or something like that? He's trying to convince him. Yeah.
We've not got to that stage yet, but that is coming. Yeah.
Ah.
So they're trying to he's trying to set a sting up, isn't he? By saying these guys are from Florida and they want some dodgy money.
Once they get the dodgy money, they can arrest him.
Yeah.
That'll be the proof.
The girlfriend has looked through the car for some evidence to see who they are, and they had kind of genuine papers from Florida and things and letters and stuff. So it seems like they've done their own work. Meanwhile, back at the gym, discussing
80s ball huggers in action.
Oh, gosh.
Wow. Wow.
It is this weird, isn't it? How they feel the need to discuss this in the gym and also in the steam room, and then get changed with their asses out and stuff like
it's
that.
because
Is this the Blue Oyster or?
Yes, it is. What happened last night? Dancing, just dancing.
Exactly.
You can have Wang Chung doing the soundtrack and not have some kind of gay, high energy dance things going on.
Well, they didn't get Wangs though in the scene, so I guess
Well, they did. There's definitely meat and 2 veg at some point if you look closely.
There is. Don't have much weights in that gym, do they?
They don't. 80s gym. So they're talking about the deal, and they go back to the headquarters, and they want is it 30,000?
Yeah, and Iron Man's dad won't give it to them. Yeah,
No, he can have 10, that's it. And then the guy Chance knows about this deal that's going down with a Chinese man and some dodgy money or something, or some paintings, I don't know. And
Diamonds is going to buy diamonds.
Oh, diamonds. And Vukovic is saying, nah, can't do it, man. It's a heist. It's robbery. We're just borrowing it.
That cop is really stupid. He really is the dumbest cop ever. Let's face it. I mean, why would you do that? You know that you're going to... Anyway, whatever.
I like that previous shot.
Oh, okay.
Previous one. Topless from 11 a.m.
Nice.
Is that for a selling point?
His informant is the cashier.
She is.
She's telling him about the deal or when it's going down.
Dance Hall Days is playing in the background.
Yeah. I like Wang Chung.
It's a guilty pleasure of mine. I've got that. Yeah. That's on my tunes.
Yeah.
So everybody Wang Chung tonight. Is it that one? Okay. And there we go. This scene is so stupid. It's so dumb. This scene.
I think it's all improvised, especially once they get out.
It
Yeah,
is.
this whole scene is all improvised.
And he kicks him in the shin, and he goes down, and it's like, wow, what an idiot! Bloody idiot.
He didn't think he was going to get the case open, but he smashed it that hard it opened.
Yep.
And then it was just a phone book, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
they found he had the money on him. It was wrapped in it. Yeah.
The feds are after him.
They started chasing them. Before they did that, they shot the guy in the back, didn't they?
Not got quite to that stage yet. I think that's the next one.
Right,
so is the mule was carrying a money belt.
Mm-hmm.
There's the feds with M16s. I think the clue was with M16s because obviously that's what the police and feds and Secret Service used. So the clues were there.
I can't remember why did they just shoot him?
They tried to shoot Chance by the looks of it, but they hit him in the back instead.
Yeah, two cars collide. Someone smacks it in the back of their car, and the other guy kind of reacts.
Yeah,
and hits him.
His pants down.
Front's there.
Yeah.
Phone book in front, pants down. Glasgow on a Saturday night.
It's not a way you want to go down. I'm just saying.
So the car chase.
Yeah, I don't like this car chase. I thought it was dumb. I think this deserves a bag of dicks awards for the worst car chase ever.
That can be like the brown version of the Razzies,
Yeah,
Bag of dicks.
bag of dicks. Those two. Yeah,
You get it both ends: the Razzies on the rear and the bag of dicks up front.
it is. Yeah.
Listen, when you get to my stage in life, you take what you can.
And then
Oh, dear.
the chase happened in that place where they shot Grease and Blue Thunder and many films, isn't it?
Oh, Blue Thunder, great film.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That what is it? There's the sewage system.
Yeah.
Yeah. That the 50s sci-fi movie, Them, I think, also had the scene there where the ants were hanging out.
And also, I think it was Terminator 2.
Yes.
They shot that there too, didn't they?
Yep.
They said it was the river, the Los Angeles River. What's the name of it?
I don't know.
Rennie? Is it the Los Angeles River? Has it got a name?
Los Angeles River. What are you talking? Wait, what?
The place where they chase, it's that
That's
split there because they used that in Grease. They used that in Terminator 2. They used it in Blue Thunder.
Yeah.
I can't
A lot of
remember
films
right
are shot
now.
there.
I've got a little bit of a headache, so I don't know if my brain's going to work, but I will try.
This is where you chased Laszlo in GTA 5. Radio DJ.
What was that song they were singing in Greece when they were in that bit? Sandra D.
Yeah.
No, Sandra D. They were singing before she changed into the hot pants and the leather jacket.
Did she transitioned?
Yeah, she did. Yeah, actually.
From innocent to bad girl.
Non-binary.
Still a woman.
Yeah. So, yeah. This was such a dumb scene. Oh my god! And what they were saying in the car, was just didn't work. Oh.
Well, apparently on one of the documentaries, somebody went up to him and said, "I saw that film, and what you were doing in the back of the car is exactly what we did."
Yeah.
So
undercover cop.
Yeah. Losing his shit, in other words.
Yeah, but sometimes things in real life doesn't really make for good movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're going the wrong way down the freeway.
You're going the wrong way. Brody's this way. My diary's that way. Wrong film.
I was going to say, wait, I know that. That's so familiar.
Don't need the diary, Dad. Marcus has the map. Sorry, I'm losing it now. There you go.
Lots of big stunts.
Isn't that a Transformer?
Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
That was Optimus Prime.
Welcome to Optimus Prime, the early years.
Yeah.
Get in the arsehole with
the
Optimus.
first crossover.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you would have kept the special effects.
There's more to me than meets the eye to this movie.
And see the car in the front? That's Murtaugh's car, isn't it? In Lethal Weapon 2.
Oh yeah. His wife's station wagon.
Yeah, his wife's station wagon.
You can't see it in this shot, but can you put that back? You can't see it in this shot, but see the truck on the right-hand side, the kind of green top. You can just see the pickup.
Mm.
There's actually a rope tied to that to pull the back end of the
really?
back truck right out.
Yeah, it was a great catch by Brian.
Top trivia. It's on the documentary.
Yep.
It was quite a good documentary, to be honest.
It was a new car, Riggs. It still is. Remember that line?
Yep.
That's a good line. Yeah.
Welcome to the UK, everybody.
Yes.
Where's the little tiny cars?
Do you notice the cars are all facing? They're all driving the wrong way for America.
Mm-hmm.
They're all on the left-hand side, driving each one.
Crazy.
So they dump the car.
They dump the car.
Kick the window out, and they're going to get it replaced. And they say, "We lucked out. Thank God."
Mm.
So meanwhile, he goes to his
back for a bit of shaggy.
I'm scared what you've done.
Want a shag, lady? Want a shag?
And then Iron Man Senior tells everybody in the meeting that a Fed officer was whacked. And this is the moment they realise,
fucked.
But his partner looks a bit like the guy that was in. Oh no, maybe I'm mixing them up. Oh, never mind.
Knight Rider.
I said. No.
And then they're in the stairwell. What have you done, man? What have you fucking done, man?
They're in hell. It's all red.
Yeah, I know.
Meanwhile, back at the dancing club with the small man in the middle.
Yeah.
The album cover for Strange Days.
Yeah.
They'd never get away with that now.
No, not at all.
Well, depending on the club.
And so,
Yeah.
this is the bit that was cut out of the film where they were just about to kiss. She looks like they're going to kiss, doesn't it? Where's my money?
Are
Give me
you wearing a wire?
Are you,
Got
yeah,
the money?
That's not a wire.
yeah, that's my
Please.
pick.
Yeah, I'm just pleased to see you.
Yeah. Is he wearing Crockett's jacket there?
Yep.
Yes, it's on loan, yes.
Ah, dear.
And then, yes.
I can smell the money. It stinks.
Where did you keep that money?
In his bum.
So meanwhile, seedy lawyer
Says, Ziggy. Tries to find Ziggy, but he can't find him.
You'll get 7 years. You can say that you was forced to do it. Blah blah blah. It went tits up. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You'll probably have to serve 1.5 years, but we'll get you out.
Mm.
Not the wisest decision.
Yeah,
Speaking to
the
lawyer
man in the middle. But he didn't know, did he?
No, he didn't.
Who didn't know?
Is it Vukovic?
Don't know.
He
They
didn't
know that he's. They know that he's the lawyer for Masters, don't they?
I don't think they do. Or do they? Yeah, sorry,
think he does.
correct. Yes, he discussed it
talking
earlier.
about-
Yes, yes.
So it's a strange. Aye.
Yeah.
Strange relationship.
Weird, yeah.
It's just dumb. The whole idea of it is dumb. Even
I
if
think in
it's
that scene he actually says, "I can't represent you if I'm covering
yeah.
Masters."
And this is the bit where he beats up Transformers guy, doesn't he?
Yeah, Cody,
Yeah. Is that his girlfriend?
It is. Yeah, it was an actress who
Mm.
was in the phone book.
Yeah.
And then he's still doing his nut.
And he's like, I hope they invent mobile phones soon. So we don't have to use all these quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it they used back then? Wasn't it CB radio or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Or the phone.
Yeah.
Has Masters bought his girlfriend a present?
I can't remember this scene.
Oh,
you go.
Daphne. Yes.
Oh yeah, this is Daphne
Now-
from
now we're
Frasier.
talking. Yeah.
Yeah, present.
Oh my.
Yeah. Oh my.
I didn't know George Takei was in this.
He is now.
Yeah. Oh God, that cop is so stupid. It's ridiculous. how
I
stupid
think
he is.
now they drive into the gym, aren't they, to do the deal?
Yeah. I remember
Because we're
that
getting
scene.
near to the end now. So
Yeah, I remember this scene. Yeah.
I did like the change of fonts for each occasion as a designer.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool idea.
The dumbest cops in the history of movie cops. That's
Yeah.
what I reckon. Those two are so dumb, ridiculous.
So the deal's going down. And then freeze asshole.
Yeah, and then he gets shot in the face. Boom.
Yeah.
Idiot. Bloody idiot.
And then they show the chip from his friend Jimmy.
You under arrest, asshole.
And then the
Boom.
next thing you see is him getting a shotgun to the head, which was a bit too gory.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, yeah.
And he was like, "Get up, man! Don't do this to me!" Like
Don't do
the guy's
this.
got
Yeah,
that
no, he's
bullet
got no
in the
face.
face. He's got no face. Why are you talking to him? You know. Stupid.
This to me was what I would call the Snoke moment that kind of fucked up the film, because I think for it to, it gives you, it's a twist and a half.
Yeah.
But I think for the film to pay off, I think Chance has to be the man who takes down Masters. I don't think it works the other way.
No, it doesn't. And that's the thing. I think they were trying to be too clever, maybe.
I don't think that. I think that was done at the 11th hour.
Yeah.
Was it?
To the point where the studio told them to refilm it, and the refilmed version's even worse, to be honest.
It's what Peterson
just
gets
gets
shot in the
injured
stomach, right?
Yeah, stomach, yeah.
Yeah, and you don't see him until later on. But for it to work, two things. I think if you're going to have Chance going down, I think you have to have Vukovic showing signs that he might turn. There's only a couple of instances they do that.
Yeah.
I think you have to see more of a kind of gradual decline where he starts to do bad things. But literally, in just maybe a couple of scenes before it, he's speaking to the lawyer about not wanting to rat on his colleague, and
he's losing it.
Yeah, but I don't see him falling to bits or going into that kind of. Well, he's panicking, but he's not becoming bad. And at the end, he essentially is broken bad.
Yeah.
Well, it essentially becomes him, doesn't he? At the ending,
So it doesn't. That didn't work to me without that proper setup.
It doesn't work because they were trying. Freaking probably thought it was clever to do that because it's never been done before, or it's been done in a certain way. But look at the difference between that and the Untouchables when Connery got killed. He went out in a blaze of glory, even though he was outgunned. In this one, he just gets a bullet in the face. That's it. He's down. Do you know what I mean? So
done for shock value.
Yes.
Untouchables is a great film. Sorry.
Oh God, yes, it is. What are you prepared to do? Yeah, when he's dying. Remember that bit?
Yeah. Good scene.
Yeah.
I've never seen the entire film. Masters escapes. I've seen bits of the Untouchables. Never seen it all the way through.
That's the Chicago way.
Well, yeah.
That's a shame.
That's how you get Capone. Yeah.
Jackson.
You can do him, can't you, Brian?
I don't pay attention myself. Especially not now that he's under the ground. But anyway, moving on.
Back to the warehouse, and it's up in flames because he's burning everything.
Of course. Let's not get away. Let's not try and get away and, fly to another country or something. Let's just burn my stuff and let this guy come and shoot me. Yeah.
Okay,
that makes sense, doesn't it?
Okay, I'll give you that.
Sound logic.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Vukovic has got a piece of timber to the head.
He's got
wood.
He's got wood.
He's got ginger wood.
Woody.
Masters has covered him in paper, was going to burn him alive, and then he just kind of gets up and goes bang.
Again, stupid. Because you can doesn't mean you say you have to do it. You know what I mean? So it's just stupid decisions made in this film.
Okay, this is where I bring on our mystery guest, Mr. Peterson.
Hello.
Do it.
Who's joined by William Friedkin.
I hate you, Ian. I should have spoken to you.
I'm totally quitting you. No.
Yeah. I'm quitting you, Ian.
I told you to eat crow, now you gotta eat shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Masters barbecue.
Yeah, man.
Screaming.
He's going,
So he's gone full circle with his flames. He has become the piece of art.
Yeah.
And then he's looking
he says, nobody says no to me. That's what he says. Yeah. That was from Spider-Man, by the way.
Yes, it was.
It was. When he was Green Goblin.
Of an inferno myself.
Yeah.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
That's it. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good line as well. Yeah. I love the bit where the thing goes into him and kills him. Before it goes into him, he goes, "Oh, doesn't he?" Before he goes into it.
I remember
it's classic.
The way that was cut, it just didn't match up. It was terribly cut.
Oh,
yeah. He goes, "Oh."
It was a little touch of Norman Osborn coming back there, because you think about when he just goes into the device that's going to make him, and the metal touches him.
Oh yes,
cold.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. That's funny. That was funny.
Peter.
Yeah. She looks quite attractive, this woman here.
She looks like Claudia Schiffer, spitting image.
She's in a very funny movie from the early 80s called The Hollywood Knights, and it takes place in California, 1960s, and it has Robert Wuhl, the comedian. It also has a very young, very nice-looking Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle
Robert Wuhl from Batman 89.
Yes, correct. Yep.
Michelle
and Tony Danza.
Oh God, Tony Danza.
Gross.
Who's the boss? Who's the boss?
I think
Has
his
he
name was,
ever
I think
played
his
a
name was Tony.
character not named Tony?
No.
Like seriously?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Even in Cannibal Run too, he goes, "I'm your cousin Tony from Brooklyn."
Yeah. It's like he only wants to play somebody with his name. Like, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Well, maybe
not
he can't remember
really.
his lines if it's not his name.
It's a good idea because when the fans meet him, they'll call Tony instead of his, stage name. So it's quite good. So I guess it's a good idea.
Yeah, but his
Playing
name
the
is Tony
stereotypical
Danza.
Italian.
But that's what they said to Will Smith when he was doing The Fresh Prince. Alfonso, who's Carlton, said to him, "Make sure your name is Will in the show because if you've got some strange name, the fans won't be they'll be shouting that name rather than your real name. So that's why his name was Will in the show. So there you go.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, let's face it, Carlton's better than Alfonso, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's what Graham Norton said because Will Smith told that story to Graham Norton.
Dude, there's no dance like the Carlton though.
Oh God, yeah.
Maybe the Batusi comes close.
I never watched any of that anyway. Moving on.
What? The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Really?
No.
It's a great show.
Girlfriend of the deaded Masters is riding off in the Ferrari with Jane.
Of course. With
See, I wanted to see a movie with those two.
Yeah, same here. And the way this film ended as well, it just kind of was really abrupt.
You work for me now.
Yeah, I'm like, what? What? Is it done? Okay.
And then you get the image of right at the end.
Yeah. That didn't make any sense either, but there you go. Such is life.
And then cue some Wang Chung with lots of driving.
Yeah.
And 2 hours 12. That's not too bad. So shall we finish off then, guys? So Rennie, did you like the film?
Well, never having seen it, it doesn't seem like something I would enjoy, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I've enjoyed listening to you guys talk about it and hear your differing opinions because we have opinions on this panel going from loving it to hating it. And it's interesting to hear why each of you guys loves the scene or the actor in a certain role versus why it didn't work. Yeah. So I really enjoyed that. But probably not going to be my cup of tea so much. It seems like a poor man's Lethal Weapon. But,
oh God. Yeah.
But that's about it. But I appreciate being here. I just feel like I didn't have too much to add other than, silliness, But I'm not feeling well, so my brain isn't working. So
I'm just glad we learned about another type of person that you hate. We know you hate the elderly. We know you hate gingers.
I never said that.
Superman.
I'm just adding up, just checking this checklist. Elderly, gingers. I mean,
we are listening. We are listening.
So I fall between the elderly and ginger. Okay, I got it.
There you go.
Picats, what did you think?
I still like the movie. I will say not as much. Maybe it dropped a tad because I buy. I'm not saying buy, but you make compelling arguments, Ian and Brian, about certain issues, and again tying it with the documentary and what you said, Ian, about filmmaking. Yeah. But I still like it. I don't know. There's something about it I like. I'm a big William Peterson fan too. I mean, yes, his character is very dumb. Yeah. Very stupid, very terrible decisions. But something, I don't know, I can't believe it. I just something about the movie, I like it. I do. I do. I found myself riveted at points, not blown away. It's not the French Connection, it's not The Exorcist, but it's a hell of a lot, especially, like I was saying earlier when we were talking about Ghostbusters, my ranking of movies has been altered and movies have risen from the past because of how much crap there is today. And I'd watch this again in a heartbeat right now, as opposed to anything new you can tell me to watch.
Yeah.
That's
Ian, thoughts?
As I said, I don't really like this movie. I kind of thought it was okay when I first saw it a long time ago, but revisiting it, I think it's a very flawed movie, and it's a very unfocused movie. And I just don't think the casting or the performances work. And I think they're the most dumbest cops ever in the history of cops, because there's no logic to what they do in this film at all.
Maybe he was just trying to be a bit too organic, and it's bit him in the foot. I don't
know. I know a lot of people say that it's close to, because it's based on a novel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Written by a real policeman or something like that.
I think so.
Yeah, but when you're a filmmaker, when you're in charge of a film and it's based on a novel, it's up to you as a director to whether to do it just like the novel or to turn it into a movie.
Yeah.
And I think William Friedkin just was lazy and just did the novel.
Right.
Like Jaws, for instance. Jaws never ended the way it ended in the novel. Spielberg went, I want the shark to blow up. And they're like, well, it won't blow up if you shoot that tank. And he goes, I don't care. It's going to blow up. And,
I love his reasoning. He's like, at this point, the audience is so invested, they won't care that it wouldn't happen that way in real life.
Exactly. And then he said, I just want to, and they blew up. And in most screenings, people cheered when the shark got blown up. And that's filmmaking. But this is just kind of lazy filmmaking as far as I'm concerned. But
I kind of have to disagree with you on following the books.
Ooh.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah, you know I'm going to go there. So,
all right.
Is this going to be a Middle Earth
one of
reasoning?
Mr. Brown's favorites, Lord of the Rings.
Oh, no.
You knew I was going to go there. You had to know.
Oh, God,
so
I just knew straight away.
There's a lot of differences, but there's a lot of similarities.
Mm.
And they ended it the way that pretty much the book ended. And
like 6 different endings.
It wouldn't they do multiple endings, except for they did not show the scouring of the Shire. That's the only thing they left out.
I see.
Like, if they had ended it any differently,
my precious.
If anybody had a different ending than they had in the book, I don't think we would have appreciated it. I don't think it would have made sense. So sometimes, yes, I agree. It's okay to do your own thing. Certain books are meant to kind of follow the outline as closely as possible.
But
it just depends.
Brenny, that's a huge saga, isn't it? And you have to treat them differently. But if you're talking about a single story as a single novel, then yes, you can change it to make it like a film.
You can, but it depends on the story. Because
I guess,
if it doesn't work for the story, then I don't know. It just depends for me. Like, for instance, like with The Watchmen.
Yeah,
that's one where people got really pissed off.
I kind of liked it.
I liked what they did with it and how they changed the ending and what actually happened versus like a giant squid. Because that didn't wash, right?
No, it would have been stupid if it was a giant squid. I thought what they did it worked better, in my opinion.
Exactly. So it just kind of depends on the book.
I guess. It depends on the situation and what was written. Yes,
Yeah, on the story. So that's all I was saying. It just, some stories, yes, it makes sense, but not always. It sometimes makes sense to follow,
That's true.
It just kind of depends.
Okay.
Brian, how do you feel?
How do you feel? How do you feel?
I don't understand the question. I got the reference. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Good for you.
First viewing, it's quite enjoying it. A few issues, obviously. A lot of things that popped out and kind of grating. As I said before, the twist, while being quite the surprise, it kind of knackered the rest of the film, and it ultimately in the first viewing I felt really quite almost like a kind of nasty taste in my mouth finishing it. Having had what we had the week or so to look at this in depth, that I think there are a lot of things I do like about this film, and I can see why people would dismiss it and dislike it, and they're all valid points. I think specifically because of some of the performances, especially from Willem Dafoe. This film is actually starting to grow on me despite its flaws. I think I'm going to have to file it under guilty pleasure, and I'm definitely going to give it another couple of watches.
Guilty pleasure. I love guilty pleasure films.
I'm afraid so.
Oh yeah, Con Air is
Nothing
one of
wrong
my
with that.
favorites.
Yeah, Con Air's great.
I would
So
probably
it's good.
totally agree with Brian what he just said. I like this film. I agree
good
with
for you.
Good for me. I agree with everything Ian says.
Really?
I do.
A new one.
Maybe yes. There's a first. Maybe they were just trying to be just a little bit too clever.
Mm.
I don't know, but I remember that when I saw it back in the 80s on the old VHS days. I think I taped it from the VHS rental. I quite liked it. So I just like Wang Chung as well. So anyway, okay. Shall we call it a draw on that then, guys? So 2 hours 20. I think that's a result considering. I will just say to everybody in the chat, thank you for your time, boys and girls. 2 hours 20, a little bit longer than we wanted, but not a bad result considering. So thank you, everybody. So I will thank the guests. Rennie, thank you.
Thank you for inviting me on, Mr. Brown. I'm sorry I'm not very good company today.
You never are.
Yeah, no, pretty much. It's always a pleasure
But
talking to
it
you
wouldn't
guys.
be the same without you.
Oh, thank
You were fine. Don't listen to him.
Thank you,
Lieutenant Dane. Don't listen to him.
And it's always a pleasure to just hang out with you guys and chat and all that.
Therapy
I
for
really
the boys
appreciate
and girls.
you.
Therapy.
And,
Welcome to the therapy channel.
Like Mr. Brown typically says, we're nothing without the chat.
We are not.
November.
We are not.
Even
we are not.
even if any of you guys or gals are gingers in the chat, we still love you.
We love
I just
everybody.
don't find ginger men attractive. It's nothing personal.
Oh, dear.
I lost my virginity to a very nice
Ginger man.
ginger lady.
Yorkshire anyway. Any armpits.
And I will thank last time on the channel, not Brian Young.
Dear, oh dear.
Cheers, Brian. You're a good lad.
Oh, is this the official thanks? I thought it was just some abuse heading my way. Yes, thanks again for the invite. Thanks for putting up with my ailments. I'm still snottering away and having to mute myself every 2 seconds to cough and barf, etc. Thank you to the chat for some excellent pieces of input, especially Cruel and MC.
Yeah, well done,
Top
guys.
form. Thanks to Rennie, the Mega Geek, Ian,
We think.
Yeah.
and yourself for the invite. Cheers.
Peacat, thank you.
I know I say it all the time, and I'm always, I'm sincere about this. It's always an honor. I'm always honored whenever you invite me
The
on.
honor
And
is ours,
you guys are all, and lady are all great. I mean, seriously, it's so much fun.
We try to keep it fun, so we must be doing something right. So, speaking of fun, here he is, Mega Geek. Thank you, my friend.
No, it's always a pleasure. No worries, guys. It's I always look forward to this Saturday night
Good lad.
thing, stuff. So it's always fun and stuff. It's a shame Swap Shop wasn't here because he's usually quite
is
fun as
back
well.
and is writing. So I will just say on a kind of a semi-serious note, because it's the time of year and with all the shit that's going on in my life at the moment, I was starting to feel it, today. And you can just feel yourself starting to sink. Yeah. And before I came, it was a bit of a chore. Yeah. That's what she said. It was a little bit of a chore putting this together because this does take. It just seems to take longer and longer putting these together. But I will say, it's the best part of the week. So anyway, Ian, thank you. I think I've thanked everybody. So everybody in the chat, you're wonderful. We are truly nothing without you guys. So thank you for sticking with us for this long. Next week, in honor of Afterlife, What are we doing, Rennie? Do you know what we're doing?
Ghostbusters.
Yeah. We're doing Ghostbusters.
I'm afraid of no ghost.
Not the 2016 version either.
No.
So
Stay Puft
in
Marshmallow
the night.
Man.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, what do you want?
Yeah, so boys and girls, your homework is to watch Ghostbusters. So on 2 hours 25, we will say adios, amigos. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Good night.